Good morning, beautiful people. It is Tuesday, the 22nd of April. Welcome to TDA, the day after your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by you guys, the culture. And of course, like we are every blessed day, we are hosted by the very best in the building. Brent, how you doing, man?
Morning.
How are you?
Blessing, how you feel yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Can't complain.
Amazing. Wonderful.
Want to say hello to the chat?
Hello, chat. The lives are going away very soon. Well, today. It's going to. If you're here, you've struck it gold. If it is that you're not here, you're gonna rue the fact that it is that you weren't here. When it is that the live is finished, then I'm going to be uploading it to the main feed. I am starting to do this because very soon this would be the normal order of play. So I want to get you all used to turning up for the live and enjoying the live chat. And then if it is you've missed it, then you can participate in the comments if you want to say something. Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a fantastic Easter weekend. I hope you all had sleep. I hope you all had rest. I hope it is that you all did what you need to do for those celebrations, whoever was celebrating, whatever you were celebrating. Good morning, Gina Gist, Energy, Amy Snow Globe, Davina, Mr. Ashlos, Akuya, Mandy, T, Itzy Bambino, Bex, Els, Minister of Enjoyment. I think I said Ed already. If I'm not, then cool. And DCF Mooks. Got a packed day, and I've got to be out by 10:30. So let's kick on. Sorry, how was your weekend? Did you eat Easter eggs and stuff?
Yeah, one.
Hot cross buns?
No, I didn't this year.
All right. Did you?
Unfortunately.
Did you go to church?
Of course, every time, man.
Come on. You had to go with your family? Huh? You had to go with your family?
No. I went there in spirit, innit? So yeah, so I couldn't bring them all along in spirit too.
All right. Well, lovely.
Did you go, Brent?
No.
How come, man? Busy?
I don't celebrate that kind of stuff. Never have.
Is it a celebration or is it just going there acknowledging?
I don't observe that kind of stuff. Never have.
Why?
I don't know why. I mean, why should I?
Because isn't it one of the, if not the most important Christian celebration?
As in just to go to church on Sunday? Yes, sure. Yeah, I went to church on Sunday.
Okay. Also, you went, but you didn't go there for the purpose of Easter Sunday.
No, I didn't.
Okay, cool. Is that your attitude towards like all the Christian
Christmas?
holidays?
Yeah, all of them. All of them.
Okay.
Yes. Good morning.
That's interesting.
Because you don't normally come with some.
Brent is greeting Gina, guys. This is why he's forgotten about you guys. Well, Gina will step into the building. Good morning, Gina.
Morning. I left my water. Can I go get it?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Can you be fast, please?
Yeah,
So I can ask you about your Easter. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of Jehovah's Witnessy, isn't it?
What's Jehovah's Witnessing?
They don't celebrate holidays and stuff.
What did you ask me?
I said, do you observe any of the Christian holidays?
Like what?
Like the ones you mentioned, Christmas.
I've
Easter.
never done that, and that's
what I'm saying
not
to you.
Jehovah's Witnessing.
What do you mean? Of course he is.
There's no iPad today.
Freestyle boy.
Yes.
Why is
yeah.
that?
Sorry. What was I supposed to do during Christmas time? Celebrate his birth?
It's not supposed to do anything. Is that
What
just
do
me asking?
Christians? Because you're saying because I don't, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, right?
No. I didn't see your Jehovah's Witness. I don't put titles on people. You guys like to do it on people. You know, I don't.
Oh, shut
I'm
up,
just
man.
saying.
Shut up.
Gina, good morning.
Morning.
You know what?
It's a very wide angle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's for both shares.
Did you go Easter Sunday church?
I was sick, but I watched it online.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you normally observe Easter and stuff?
Yeah.
Because Brent don't know why.
But the way you're saying observe is killing me.
Why? What's wrong?
It just sounds funny.
No, the thing is, I don't know why you are surprised. I don't. You've lived with me before.
Yeah,
right?
but what I mean is,
What as in? I don't get it.
so like basically, would you go to church on Good Friday?
If my church was on, yeah.
Okay, cool. Brent wouldn't.
Why?
My whole family never.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
why?
Don't say Brent wouldn't.
All right, your whole
I've grown
family.
up like this.
Okay. Is there any particular reason?
This is
'Cause
what I'm asking.
All of that is just pomp and splendor.
Okay. Shits and giggles, basically. Me and my... I think it's just weird, sorry. Every time I see myself and this chair. Ta-da!
You look different now.
Do I?
Yeah, just as you walked in, you looked different now that you're sitting down.
To then?
Yes.
How? Oh, you're so child.
So
Why
you
is...
did that for me?
No, you're childish.
Really? Any building I walk into with company, there's no way I'm coming with my...
Do you know...
What?
Do you guys want to share your...
This is bonkers.
Share it with the
And now
people?
I'm the weird one.
Basically, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I love you, Lord. No, Brent, do you know what it was? I was hot, yeah. So in my car, that's how I was. So when I've got out of the car, I've had stuff in my hand. So that's when I've walked in and I was going to give you a quick side and carry on. But you decided to
I was like, whoa.
embrace
like,
skin to skin.
Calm down.
I actually calm down.
It was just Easter Sunday. What are you talking about?
Oh, is it? If we don't observe
parliamentary procedures, please. God damn it.
Whatever, man.
But yes.
How was France?
Oh no, it was nice.
Keep it brief.
It's going to be brief because it was a brief trip anyway. There's not much to say. It was brief. France was good. Full stop. Happy?
Amazing.
Yeah.
It was a good sing along. Did you get any
Asha was good.
cherry pictures?
Me. I told you I would never. So no. But it was good. I had fun.
Amazing.
Good concert.
Would you do it again?
Yeah, I've seen him before, like years ago. It's a good show. But I actually think I'm over concerts though.
Yeah, I don't ever turn on TDA to go and watch Usher, to be honest. Usher.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Speak for yourself.
Well, I'm glad that you had a good time, and sad that you were sick during Easter Sunday and Monday. And
Yeah.
cool. Welcome back.
Thanks.
All right.
Before we get into the headlines, just want to say basically just shed some light on the fact that today is the day that Stephen Lawrence was murdered in 1993.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So just want to shout him out and his family. Rest in peace. And yeah, man, hopefully the lives of those attackers are never peaceful until they take the time to apologize and do right by his spirit and his family and the community as well. So yeah, man, let's go into our headlines.
All right.
So Brent, what's yours?
I think it's inside.
Oh, okay. No wonder. Right.
You don't need it anyway.
Okay.
All right, people. So our first headline, which is going to be part of, I guess, topic of the day, which is really just mentioning it, is basically about Pope Francis, man. The Vatican has announced that Pope Francis, has died at the age of 88. The pontiff, who was Bishop of Rome and the head of the Catholic Church, died peacefully. According to hospital sources, his cause of death was a stroke and heart failure. The Vatican shared the Pope's final testament, in which he outlined his request to be buried in the ground without particular ornamentation, but with the inscription Franciscus. Pope Francis said he wished to be buried in Rome's Basilica of St. Mary Major rather than St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican, where many previous pontiffs have been laid to rest. An anonymous benefactor will pay for the cost of the funeral, this according to the Vatican. And for those that know, Pope Francis, he became the Pope in 2013 after his predecessor, Benedict XVI, resigned, had experienced a string of health worries in recent years and spent 38 days in hospital in February and March. Obviously, we spoke about that while he was there. But he recovered enough to leave hospital. But and just yesterday, he was seen greeting crowds as well, like on Easter Sunday as well in St. Peter's Square. But he has sadly passed away. Next headline, and President Donald Trump has backed U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth after reports that military attack details were shared in a group chat that included Hegseth's wife, brother, and personal lawyer. The controversy comes a month after a journalist was added to a Signal group chat in which U.S. cabinet officials, including Hegseth, discussed plans to attack Houthi rebels in Yemen. In a second Signal chat, Hegseth shared information about airstrikes against Yemen. And this is basically what was revealed to us via BBC's US news partner, CBS. Trump was speaking to the reporters on Monday, yesterday, and said that Pete's doing a great job. Everybody's happy with him. White House officials have played down reports of military plans being shared in the second Signal group chat, but have not denied it. Trump told reporters he has great confidence in his defense secretary. And our last headline, a senior Palestinian official familiar with Israel-Hamas ceasefire negotiations has told the BBC that Qatari and Egyptian mediators have proposed a new formula to end the war in Gaza. According to the official, it envisages a truce lasting between 5 to 7 years, the release of all Israeli hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails, a formal end to the war, and a complete Israeli withdrawal from Gaza. A senior Hamas delegation was due to arrive in Cairo for consultations. The last ceasefire collapsed a month ago when Israel resumed bombing Gaza, as you guys know, with both sides blaming each other for the failure to keep it going. Israel has not commented on the mediators' plan. And Hamas will be represented at discussions in Cairo by the head of its political council, Mohammed Darwish, and its lead negotiator, Khalil Al-Haya. It comes days after the movement rejected Israel's latest proposal, which included a demand for Hamas to disarm in return for a 6-week truce. And on Saturday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he would not end the war before Hamas was destroyed and all the hostages returned. Hamas has demanded Israel commit to ending the war before the hostages are freed. And that's it for the headlines. Let's go into a brief People's Journal, Brent. All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal. We'll give you the news from an economics point of view. There isn't much to talk about. I just wanted to mention that how apparently the US Commerce Department has announced plans to impose tariffs of up to 3,521% on imports of solar panels from 4 Southeast Asian countries. So this comes after an investigation that began a year ago when apparently several major solar equipment producers asked the then President Biden to protect their US operations, right? So basically the proposed levies is targeting companies in Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, and Vietnam. And these basically are in response to allegations of subsidies from China and the dumping of unfairly cheap products in the US market. So basically to remedy all of this, the US Commerce Department, again, they're announcing plans to impose tariffs of up to 3,500%. Next thing I wanted to mention is US stocks. Obviously, they've plunged. I don't know why I said obviously, but they have plunged. The dollar's plunged as well as Donald Trump intensifies his attacks on the US central bank boss, Jerome Powell, calling him a major loser for not lowering interest rates, right? So Trump called on the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, to cut interest rates preemptively to help boost the economy. Right, saying that Powell has been too slow and he's been consistently too slow in responding to economic developments. Obviously, they don't want to reduce the interest rates too soon. They don't want their hard work, I guess, over the last year or so to be reversed. But Trump needs it, man. He wants people to start spending and doing certain things to kind of boost the economy. And so, he wants them to lower the interest rates. But they are an independent entity, and Jerome Powell basically is refusing to be bullied, man. So we'll see what happens with that. And there's an article that people can kind of, I guess, look at on the BBC. And it's basically just giving advice on 5 ways for first-time buyers to get onto the housing ladder. So I just want to pretty much go through a couple points. Some, to be fair, they're all obvious. But you may want to, I guess, adjust your strategy given that things have changed, you know what I'm saying, with regards to stamp duty and things of that nature. But essentially the first point is start saving as soon as you can, right? The average deposit paid for a first-time buyer is £34,500. This is according to UK Finance, right? So obviously the sooner you start saving, the better. For those who don't know, the LISA, or the LISA I should say, the Lifetime ISA. Have you got a Lifetime ISA, you guys?
No, I got a right to buy it, so...
Okay. I think it does the same thing. You get 25% bonus, right?
Is it 25%? I think the most you can get is like 3K or something like that.
Yeah, so 25% up to 3K. Is it per year?
No, at the end.
Is it? Okay. Interesting. Do you remember the right to buy?
Sorry?
Do you remember the right to buy LISA?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
So something along those lines. But I think it's similar to this. But basically with the LISA, right, the lifetime ISA, it offers 25% bonuses for those who are saving for their first home, yeah? So for each £4,000 saved in any given tax year, the government will top it up an extra £1,000. I think that's similar to that. But obviously, it's been such a long time.
But there's a cap, right?
Yeah, there's a cap.
Basically, I think the max I think you can save is 15. I don't remember.
There is a cap every year. There's a cap, but I just can't remember what
I don't
it
think
is.
it's yearly though with this
No?
one.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I'll look into that. Obviously, the next point is look at low deposit mortgage options. Makes sense. I did mention last week, I believe, that a lot of lenders are now getting into the whole allowing first-time buyers and other buyers, to be fair, to do the whole 10% mortgages again and 5% mortgages in some cases as well. So if you are struggling to get the deposit and all that sort of stuff, there are some lenders out there that are willing to give 5% mortgages.
Yeah, they are, but then your repayment is gonna.
It's gonna be crazy, yeah. Yeah. But I guess some people are really desperate to get onto the ladder, innit? And so that might
it's
be a
really
way.
sad. Yeah, I was like, when I said I was this close, and the house fell through like a couple of weeks ago.
Damn.
I literally cried about it like a baby, but I'm over it now. Because I was really trying to complete before
Just stop doing
first
it.
year, literally. And then, yeah. So I'm literally back to, I'm over it. I'm not even bothering, but I should. I'm back to square one.
But the right place will come.
I know, that's the best way to look at it.
Yeah.
But like, I was really trying to not be fixated. And that's why I didn't talk about it. I didn't tell anyone. Like, only my family members knew, didn't talk about it. Because I was like, I don't know. But I put the offer in December. So
Okay.
it went a while.
I was that Jumbie in it.
What?
Ancestral Jumbies in it. That's why it is.
Oh, was that why it
God
didn't go through?
That's why God didn't
Oh,
want to go
okay.
in.
Fair
It'd
enough.
been too much.
But it was a really nice house.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it actually was perfect. And it was so, like, when it was a
Demon
find,
worshippers,
it was
bro.
a steal. Like, literally.
There'll always be another one.
Yeah,
Always.
100%. 100%.
The one for you,
God
basically.
willing.
Huh?
The one that God wants you to be.
No, fair enough.
Yeah.
Next thing I wanted to mention, would you explore the whole shared ownership thing? Or you're not interested in that?
No, I think when I looked, I've spoken to someone actually who did that with her apartment and stuff. But no,
But ideally not. No. Yeah.
I wouldn't even bother. Like, I'm not that desperate,
Yeah.
if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get you.
So again, even with the whole like 5%, all of that stuff, I'm not that desperate. Like, I'd rather just wait and get a bigger deposit if that was my situation, because repayments. Remember, this isn't back in the day when the interest rates were low. So like your repayments, even if you're doing that 5% like deposit, was reasonable. Especially by myself. Banter. No.
Well, for those who don't know, the whole shared ownership scheme is where you can basically buy a share of the property, 25 to 75% of it, and then basically rent the other part, right? So it's a way to get on the ladder. Personally, like you guys have pretty much said, I've never been a fan of it, but it does work for some people. Some
I
people
don't even
like
like
it.
share a freehold.
You wouldn't, you said?
Nah.
Yeah, there you go. But for those people who don't have enough...
No,
innit?
I understand.
You know
It's
what I
still
mean?
a good way to get your foot
Yeah.
through. You know what I mean, foot through the door. But shared ownership, nah, it gets really, really, really messy really quick.
Next thing is, consider income boost mortgage. So basically the bank of mum and dad might not be an option for some, but there are ways to basically get help from family members, right? The income boost mortgage is basically allows a home buyer to add up to 3 family members to their mortgage to increase the amount that they can borrow from a lender.
Where does the
It becomes
responsibility?
more complicated, though, innit?
Yeah, but where's the responsibility lie? Is it like one of those amigo loans where the person becomes, what's the word? They become
Collateral.
no.
Guarantor.
Say again? Yes.
Guarantor.
Is it like a guarantor?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I think so, yeah, pretty much. But, some people, it might work for some people, you know what I mean? And also, last thing is professional mortgages. These are available. So this could enable a buyer who's working in a regulated or accredited profession, so doctor, architect, all that sort of stuff, accountant, to borrow up to 6 times their income. So if you basically, to be fair, all these lenders are going to go through all of this with you anyway. You know what I'm saying? But specialist lenders, they offer particular deals for particular professions as well.
So they get more.
Yeah, exactly. So if that's something that you fall into, that might be a good shout as well. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about at the People's Journal. Let's get into more headlines. All right, people, I'm just going to go through the rest of these headlines quickly. Next headline, Ukraine's military has reported Russian drone attacks on several regions overnight. This is just hours after the end of a 30-hour Easter truce that was declared by Moscow. Russia's defense ministry confirmed it has resumed fighting, adding that its military had strictly observed the ceasefire and remained at the previously occupied lines and positions. The truce was declared by the President Vladimir Putin and basically expired at midnight on Sunday, Moscow time. So both sides, obviously, because I heard Zelensky talking about this as well. He basically accused Russia of basically violating the ceasefire, right? Trigger warning on this one, people. Trigger warning. And a woman who was stabbed to death in North London has been named by police as a man was arrested on suspicion of murder. Pamela Monroe, 45, she was found with a stab wound and died at the scene in Ailey Croft in Enfield on Saturday evening. A 29-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of murder on Monday, and he's in custody now. Detective Chief Inspector Neil John said investigating officers have worked relentlessly across the weekend to investigate the circumstances around Pamela's death. Next headline, Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor, she said she will pledge to stand up for Britain's national interests as she heads to Washington, D.C. amid hopes of a UK-US trade deal. So the Chancellor will fly to the US capital for her spring meetings of the IMF, International Monetary Fund, the first of which began on Sunday. During her 3-day visit, Ms. Reeves is set to hold meetings with G7, G20 and IMF counterparts about the changing global economy and is expected to make the case for open trade. Her visit comes after Donald Trump, imposed blanket 10% tariffs on all imports into the US, including from the UK, and as talks about reaching a trade deal intensified. The Chancellor will also hold her first in-person meeting with her US counterpart, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, about striking a new trade agreement as well, which obviously the UK hopes will take the sting out of Mr. Trump's tariffs. Next headline, trigger warning on this one as well, people. 3 men have been charged with manslaughter after a woman was killed in a crash on a golf course. Suzanne Cherry, 62, from Aldridge, near Walsall, died in hospital on the 15th of April, 4 days after she was struck at Aston Wood Golf Club in Little Aston by a grey Nissan van, which had been involved in a police pursuit. Her husband has described how he watched in helpless horror as his wife was killed at the club on Blake Street in Staffordshire. 2 patrol cars had started following this particular van in King's Standing in Birmingham after receiving reports of suspicious activity. They stopped chasing it when it came off the road and went onto the embankment at the golf club. And then shortly after, they hit Miss Cherry. Her husband said that his wife had an for life, but their future together was snatched away in an instant. And our last headline, the family of a 21-year-old student who was shot and stabbed while cycling home after watching a football match 10 years ago, has renewed an appeal for the public's help to find those responsible. Olaraji had spent the evening at a friend's house watching the Champions League match between Bayern Munich and Porto before he was killed in Peckham, South London, on the night of Tuesday, 21st of April, 2015. He had been cycling on East Surrey Grove Estate near Commercial Way when he was stabbed and shot in an attack by 2 men. He later died in hospital. His sisters, Zainab Raji and Ruki Wari, said that the anniversary of their brother's death was a painful reminder of 10 years of loss. They also said in an appeal that our family is not going to get that time back. The independent charity Crime Stoppers is offering a reward of up to £20,000 for information that leads to the identification and prosecution of those responsible for the murder. And that's it for our headlines. Let's get into our topic of the day, Brent.
Exactly the running order. This will be happening.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, people.
So it's your fault.
Everything is. So, topic of the day. A lot of things that happen, right?
If anything is freezing, go out of your app and then come back in.
All right, so a lot of things happened over this Easter weekend. I feel as though a lot of people may not care. I shouldn't say that. Because obviously this is just a sentiment of certain people in it, certain groups. But how did you guys process or care about the information regarding the Pope? Did you hear about him basically losing his life, him dying? Did it mean anything to you guys? Okay.
I thought it was interesting because I don't know much and I don't follow the Pope. I don't follow really Christianity too much.
Is this the same Pope that was
That's what?
maybe not? Nothing. Proceed.
You sure?
Yeah, proceed.
That he was calling out for peace and he was, I guess, relatively more outspoken of leftist ideology, even though he's not technically a leftist. Specifically about Gaza, the last thing he said predominantly was about Gaza, and then he passed away was what I learned. And that he pretty much spoke to a priest in Gaza quite a lot because they were getting bombed and shelled. So I know that far, and I kind of read a bit about him here and there. But yeah, it was pretty sad he passed away in Easter.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't follow it too tough.
Yeah. This is why I was basically saying I feel as though a lot of people don't care, but I guess that's because I'm not around Catholics, innit?
Yeah.
So you may not know
sure.
that. But Catholics, the Catholic Church is one of the biggest, you know what I'm saying? Like every Easter, they gather like, I think it's like 1 million or so in the Vatican. So obviously this is a big loss to the Catholic Church and to, I guess, Christendom as a whole. But just wanted to mention as well, he was the first Latin American Pope. So just some facts out there. Born in Argentina, first Pope from the global South, right? So that was, I guess, some people will say it brought a unique perspective to the Vatican. And some people say he was a champion for the marginalized. So pretty much like what Ramsey was just saying about Gaza and stuff. He was known for advocating for the poor, for refugees, marginalized communities.
It's his namesake, isn't it?
Who?
That's why they called him what they called him.
Oh, did the same thing, and that's why?
Yeah, Pope Francis, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to do with that it has a history of being charitable and treating everyone fairly.
There you go.
It could fit him.
There you go. Yeah, man, he emphasized social justice and compassion. He was one of those that I definitely don't have no quotes and stuff, but I think people did criticize him for being a bit more inclusive than the previous popes.
Relative though.
Yeah, of course, relative.
Yeah, I think it was more so that he was accepted of how things are run now
in the world. Yeah.
So he kind of said, like he said the homophobic F word. In Italian. But then also said that, there's gay people around us. It is what it is. He said technically it's still a sin, but we need to learn how to accept everyone for who they are. Yeah. So it was a bit tick for tack.
Yeah, and even in the chat, Vlad says for Pope, he was incredibly radical. You know what I'm saying? So I guess he did his thing, man. But yeah, he made significant reforms within the Catholic Church, promoting inclusivity and addressing issues like climate change and economic inequality as well. So he was doing all of that stuff. And he also fostered relationships with leaders of other faiths. So he was promoting peace, and obviously he understood certain things across religious boundaries in it. So he was, he wasn't trying to push certain things. And yeah, man, long story short, a lot of leaders around the world have, given their condolences. Donald Trump, the European Commission President, Ursula von der Leyen, Indian Prime Minister, everyone pretty much in it.
Bare dickheads. They're showing 3 dickheads in a row.
But everyone basically, they're doing what they're meant to be doing, in it. So yeah, that's all I wanted to do pretty much. Just big up him, Pope Francis, and obviously, our viewers who are Catholics as well, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Next thing I wanted to mention is Kanye West.
Sorry, one question. The fact that he passed away in Easter, do Catholic people find solace in that? Is that a thing? Do they... I feel like it's... Obviously, I'm ignorant again, but it sounds fitting to me, like it's a nice...
Yeah, same.
You know what I mean?
I think so, yeah. If I was a Catholic, I think that would mean something. Yeah. Especially as he came out, waves to the people on Easter Sunday as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then obviously he went back into his chambers and he passed away. So yeah, 100%. I would think it meant something. Okay. Did you guys hear about Kanye West's confession, I should say? Yeah. What are your thoughts on it? I'm going to read it, but what are your thoughts?
I think I'm not surprised yet, but I feel like when you, like, some people think he's chatting rubbish here, but I don't think he's chatting rubbish. And I think some secrets like that you keep to yourself will like kill you, quote unquote. Do you get what I mean? Like, sometimes I think we're just witnessing someone go through the after effects of all the trauma he's been through, and he's finally getting it off his chest. Obviously, it's the delivery and how he's going about it, and it being very erratic that kind of allows people to make jokes about it and like not take it serious. But he's basically saying that, like, do you get what I mean? Like, it's a serious thing that he's saying, and it's not unheard of. If you get what I mean. Like, I'm not out here thinking, oh my gosh, like, because I think it's sad, if I'm honest with you. I think we're literally witnessing some, like, his mental health, like, deteriorate.
Do you feel like for some people, those who, you know, have kind of said, oh, nah, it's not mental health, he's just being Kanye, this is proof of it now? Or do you feel like...
I think this is the problem, and God forbid, but let's say, like, he offs himself or something, trigger warning, or let's say something happens, afterwards, the conversations are going to be so different. But the crazy thing is the whole world witnessed it, though. Do you get what I mean? Like, we are literally witnessing something happen.
But yes, trigger warning, people. Big trigger warning. I'm going to read out what Kanye West said in his tweet. I'm definitely going to try and edit it as well. But so trigger warning, big trigger warning. All right, so Kanye West tweeted, he said, this song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore, right? Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in top of my mum's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I S my cousin's private parts till I was 14. Tweet sent. There you go, man. There's not much else to say, to be honest with you. So, but this is definitely not promo. Because obviously, we've said before in the past, it's just he's got a new album coming out.
And also, you've now implicated somebody else in your mess. Somebody
he's in prison anyway, so.
I know, but like, it's not like, you know, the people that he usually takes jabs at, like, we get in it. Do you know what I mean? But this is someone who's innocent in this situation, who's literally caught astray. He's already serving life. Like, leave the man alone.
Fuck him.
But
he killed a pregnant woman, so.
I just think, but so that's my thing though, right? Are we now gonna say, because if that's the case, like, if you came out and said he doesn't have a cousin who's in jail serving life for killing a pregnant lady, then it's like, okay, cool, this whole thing is a...
No one's done their homework yet, though.
But if it turns out that it's true, then it's like, why would he lie about, like, why would he add that extra seasoning? Do you get what I mean?
But the whole thing was sprinkled with seasoning. It was all too much sauce. The whole thing was... It was extra information that was irrelevant, all in one post. My dad had Playboy magazines, but my mum's one were mad, and she used to keep it on top of the drawer. Like,
but I don't. Do you know what? But this is who he, like. My thing isn't like, you know how some people. You know some people. Okay, I know someone who thinks out loud when they talk. And when we have conversations, I hear their inner thoughts, and it's not relevant. A lot of the stuff is not relevant. I don't need to know it, but that's just how they process things. Do you understand what I mean? So as much as you're saying,
he wrote this though.
I know, but my point is, like, that's how I'm saying. And the thing is, I'm not even trying to make an excuse for Kanye. I'm not trying to make an excuse for Kanye, but I'm just trying to be a bit more open-minded, basically, right? Okay. So it's like, not everybody processes things the way that we process things, right? So I guess for you, you're saying, like, you wrote it so you had time to process it, but that's what I mean. Not everybody's like that. Some people just say what they're thinking. Because the tweet, even the way it's been, like, even the way it came out, it's like, you can tell he's thinking out loud, because it didn't make, like you said, it didn't make sense. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? You didn't sit there and think, okay, this is a sentence that I'm putting together that makes sense. It's like, you're literally just, it's word vomit. Whatever's in your brain, you're just, do you know what I mean? That's how I saw it.
It's sad, man. It's sad. I think, if anything, it really just shows how you have to be on top of what children are involved in. You know what I'm saying? Because it's terrible, man. It's terrible. Obviously, I'm wishing Kanye West the best, man, because if this is obviously true, this is a lot that he's dealing with, man. It's diabolical, man. But the last thing I want to talk about before we go into the rotation is DJ Vlad. So, Brent, there's a clip, if you don't mind playing it, yeah? He has made an apology to the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Now, you guys obviously on the show have heard me mention this before, innit?
Who? Mention who?
Mention this situation with Vlad.
Oh, no.
Why I don't watch Vlad.
No. Oh, no, I haven't actually.
No?
No.
Okay, we'll get
I don't
into
think
it
you've
briefly.
even mentioned Minister Louis Farrakhan before.
On the show?
Oh, he definitely has.
I know, I'm taking the piss.
Not enough. Not enough. But yes, Brent, if you don't mind playing the clip, please.
No, I actually don't know though. You have to fill me in. Pause.
Cool. This guy.
Apologize to Minister Farrakhan for misquoting him back in 2020. Period.
There you go.
No ifs, but, or anything else like that. Point blank, period. This is what I'm doing on your show.
Now that's honorable.
Thank you.
That's honorable.
And also, let me just say, this was not a decision based on pressure by anybody, by financial duress. It's not like I have to do this in order to turn the company around. The company's been doing fine all these years. It's not because I'm trying to get to a certain guest and by doing this and so forth. No, there's no reason behind this except for it's the right thing to do, right? Like, I've never heard of Farrakhan saying something that triggered violence or triggered economic catastrophes or anything else like that. He said what he said. Some people, accept it. Some people don't. But ultimately, I've never heard of the Jewish community being hurt by Farrakhan's words. So to sit there and say, I despise this person and everything he does is out the window when you look at what he's actually done for his own community, you can't deny it. And that was the reason why I was interviewing NOI people. This is the reason why I had a relationship with certain people at NOI. I hired them for security and so forth. It was a respectful relationship until this happened.
Yeah.
I'd like to apologize to Minister Farrakhan for misquoting him back in 2020. Period.
There you go.
No ifs, but, or anything else like that. Point blank, period.
Yo, they pressed him for real. NOI pressed that man. He's terrified for his life.
You sure? You think
What?
so?
Against the NOI? 100%. He's terrified.
Let's not put anything on the nation.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything. Maybe he just came to his senses, right? But basically, essentially, for those who don't know, in 2020, he had an interview with D.L. Hughley, the comedian. Mm-hmm. And basically, this was shortly after the minister had a speech, right? And in that speech, the minister mentioned something along the lines of throwing rocks of truth at people, basically, who, I guess, are out here lying. You know what I'm saying? So he's speaking metaphorically. It was very clear. Vlad went on his show, interviewed D.L. Hughley, and basically said the minister was saying throw rocks at Jewish people. This is what he did, right?
How did he get there?
Because basically the minister was talking about, I guess, certain people in the Jewish community who were using their religion as a guise for them doing some wickedness behind the scenes. Which, again, he said this about Christian people, he said this about Muslim people who basically just say, I'm this, but really behind the scenes, they're not that. So he said...
But they always paint him as, in their quotes, anti-Semite and all that.
Exactly. So he jumped onto this. And for context as well, he's Jewish as well, isn't it, right? So he's jumped onto this. And he's said this to D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley, obviously, is on the spot, has not gone away and done the research, heard it for himself, and has just made comments about it. Obviously, he's not going to do his research on the spot anyway. So he's kind of backed up what Vlad has said, right? So Lord Jamar and Godfrey, the comedian, basically, they were like regular people on Vlad's show. And they were like, wait a minute, like you've misquoted him. Like, what are you doing? And you've taken it out of context and you've not provided, and you know what you're doing. I think the right and honorable thing to do would be to apologize and just say, you know what, cool. So Vlad went and basically took down the post and said, you know what, the last part of it was inaccurate, but he's not apologized. So he's refused to apologize, just said, I like to present people in an honest fashion, so I'm just going to remove that part of the interview.
So why did he refuse to apologize?
He doesn't like the minister. He doesn't like the minister. That's basically how I took it. That's how everyone took it. The nation doesn't like the minister, right? So, and he used that as an opportunity to get at him. And on top of that, because again, behind the scenes, Lord Jamar and Godfrey, they're his friends, and so they advise him, listen, the best thing to do is just to, you know what I'm saying, because you're making yourself look bad, and us, because we obviously we rock with you, man. Like, and he's like, listen, you know what? I'll do it in exchange for an interview with Farrakhan.
Okay.
Can you imagine?
All right.
Can you imagine? And they're like,
it would have been good though. He would have got chewed up.
That's true. That's true. But he said, I'm not going to do it, right? Cool. They said, okay, you know what? That's fine. If you're not going to do it, we can't mess with you no more. So they did the right thing. They stood down and they never did a show with him again. Many people also spoke out about it as well. Royce did, Nick Cannon as well. And funny enough, I think not too long before that, Nick Cannon got in trouble as well for saying certain things about the Jewish community, right? And I'm not even sure if it was really Nick Cannon or rather a guest that he had. I can't remember, too tough. But basically, that's what happened. Nick Cannon came out and apologized. Vlad was one of those who got onto him saying, listen, you're my friend, Nick. Apologize. This is not right what you're saying about the Jewish community. When it's happened the other way around, Vlad's like, no, I'm not apologizing. So this is interesting. Obviously, now he's come out to do this. What's not showing in this clip is, in that same interview with Willie D basically says, I'm obviously your friend. I stopped coming on the show as well. I didn't stop being your friend though, behind the scenes, but I did stop coming on the show because of you choosing to not apologize. Vlad also says to me, you know what, it's just the right thing to do, X, Y, Z. But this is the key thing that Vlad says. Vlad says, at the time I had certain people in my life, that were basically telling me to not apologize. This is essentially, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but essentially he basically had other people, he didn't mention which people, but I think it's clear, right? But who are around him basically saying, do not apologize, do not capitulate, etc., etc. But then obviously he said, I've stepped back and I've seen that I was a pawn in their overall agenda. And this is what he's saying there. And that's the reason why now he's taking the time to apologize to the minister.
You're not buying it?
No, but no, because it just sounds like he's not taking accountability.
At all.
So now he's just blaming this shadow syndicate behind him that forced him not to say no. He's taking accountability. But Vlad's always been a waste man. He's always been a waste man.
But yeah, this is what's happened now, man. So yeah, it's all over the internet. People are posting it. His apology. So we'll see if the minister says anything. But again, Vlad is respectfully beneath the minister. He doesn't need to address this at all.
Is he the host? Is he part of the NOI?
Will he be?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say to the people, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it for topic of the day. I think we can get into the rotation.
For God's sake. All right, welcome to the rotation, people. We're back like we never left, man. We have a couple projects to talk about and some put you ons to talk about. Brent, would you mind putting up the first album cover?
Which is?
Let's go, you know what, let's go for Alex Isley first, please.
All right.
So we'll go for the EP because it's a shorter project. Yes, perfect. First question though. You heard it? You heard it?
Yeah, of course.
You heard it, yeah? All right, cool. Brent.
Yeah, I have heard it.
All right, cool. You heard it, yeah?
Of course. I take my homework seriously, you know.
Did he show you? All right, so we've got Alex Isley, an American Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter, with her newest installment, When, features 6 soulful, tasteful R&B. You don't really get a lot of that nowadays. It has no features, actually. I go with Brent, you want me to go with my rating first, right?
Yes, please.
Let's go, you know what? I want to give it because it's an EP, I give it a 2.5 out of 5. What about you, Brent?
I give it a 3.
Okay, E-man. Just gonna throw a number out there, innit?
This guy. You know what? It was just shy of a 3 for me.
Okay.
But I'll round up to 3.
Cool. She blends R&B, neo soul, and jazz in her music. She's collaborated with Kendrick Lamar, Lucky Day, PJ Morton, to name a few. I found her on a Masego song, but all of her songs to me is super soulful. The lyrics are always tasteful. If she's on, I'm not gonna skip her. me personally. Favorite songs off the project, which is only 6 songs, is Holding On and Thank You for a Lovely Time. Brent,
Hello?
you're gonna leave the chair?
Yeah, don't talk to
Oh, okay, all right. Which songs did you like?
Let me get my list up. Hold on, one sec.
I'm just gonna pick a
Mike
random song.
on
Tell me your one.
He's gonna pick a skit.
Listen,
Tell me. You're so
He's gonna
annoying.
You know, I'm laughing the fact that you're actually entertaining this. But continue.
Listen, what's your favorite ones?
I just said it.
He just said them.
Sorry. No, because I was just chatting to Ben about something. That's
I
what.
said my favorite tracks are Holding On, which is the first track,
Okay.
and Thank You for a Lovely Time.
Okay, 1 second. I'm just getting that.
Just get the album up quick.
Track list
and
and
then
that.
play it quickly in your ear.
I don't even know why you don't believe me. You know. Fool's Gold.
Okay.
He's just picking the time.
Yeah.
Why you not saying?
Fool's Gold like a
So
30-second
annoying.
skit.
And Holding On.
Holding On.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What do you like about them?
Just the vibe in it. And how. Why you not? You know what? I'm not doing my homework next time. You know?
Go on.
No. Yeah, exactly. Like just the vibe in it, and you know, obviously, how she's able to do certain things on track in it, and the overall. You know what I mean?
Have you heard of her before?
No.
Never.
No.
All right.
So this is the first time.
Really, that's good because I think I've said she's, to me, this might be controversial. I might say her name wrong. Mariba.
Oh yeah, Mariba.
She's like Mariba, but can sing better. That's my take on her.
Why do you think why you see it as her singing better? Though?
Because I'm
Why
not
not
really.
different?
Because I don't think she's a strong singer.
Mariba.
Yeah, and she's a lot more experimental than Alex Isley. I'm saying what I'd say. Since you mess with her, you definitely mess with Alex Isley. Brent,
Yo,
what any
Mike
standout
on
tracks?
and hands.
Huh?
Mike on and hands.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Mike on was the worst track for me.
that's nice.
It was too
That's probably why
repetitive.
it is I like it.
Right, next track, please.
Next track.
Next album, next project.
All right.
Yeah, the Davido album. Okay, can you did your help with that one?
Which is?
The Davido project, please. Right, so
Are these the Benin spirits? Is this what the Emmanuel?
Emmanuel, look at it, because when I tried to do a bit of research on it on the album cover, I know that
Is it
he's.
Benin? Hold up, let me just Google this.
Huh? Do you want to interrupt me more? No?
Sorry.
I know that there's obviously 4 around him, and he's the 5th one to signify his 5th album. But is there anything else that you can gather? Maybe anyone in the chat can tell me
Nah.
any
not
other
from just that.
meaning from the album cover. It's a good album cover. I'm not mad at it. Why you not do that? We have the Nigerian singer, songwriter, and record producer. 5 his newest installments, 17 tracks long, featuring Chris Brown, Becky G, YG Marley, Odumodu Black, plus many more. All in all,
17
17.
is a lot.
You think so? I heard that that's a lot of gripes with most people with this
It's
album.
too long.
It's bloated. But in this day and age with streaming, they have to,
Okay.
because the more songs that are streamed.
The more, okay, I get it.
See
Okay.
the voodoo dances, and they have the colorful. Yeah,
Do the colors signify stuff? Because on the album
Did
cover,
you
there's
call them
different colors.
voodoo dancers?
that's what it's called.
Oh, is it, Brent? I mean, Emmanuel.
Why did you look at him?
Because he's
I'm
Nigerian.
actually googled it. Nigerian.
This
He's
is
Yoruba.
not,
when he chooses to be.
this is not I think this is.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. You're actually talking about Benin.
Yes.
Okay, as in the country, not the state.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I think you're talking about the country, innit? That's probably why you mentioned voodoo, innit? Because voodoo is actually something in Benin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it,
But the
response
video's
okay?
not
say?
Is his response okay?
Okay.
God damn it!
I'm not doing it with you today.
All right. Go on, Emmanuel.
No. I'm finished basically.
All right.
So I will give my rating. It's a 2.5, but closer to a 3 than closer to a 2.5. That makes sense. Out of 5,
So
I think.
2.75.
Yeah,
Yeah, choose.
I feel
something.
like
Choose something.
2.5. Let's go with the
Why not 2.75?
because he hasn't got the graphic for that.
Oh.
The graphics at 2.75. I don't even know what it look like. Out of all the other of his colleagues in the game, this album I enjoyed more than Ashake's album, more than Rema's album. I know that he's not particularly that he's not rated that highly in the game.
I think, do you know what it is? I think he has really, really good songs. I think he also has the best features. Whenever he has a feature with a US artist, I think it's the most seamless and sounds the most authentic. Personally, I think he does it really, really well. Like, if him and Chris Brown were to release an album, I think it would go off because every collab that they've had, in my opinion, has been. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know why? Like, can you speak to why that is? Because I agree with you 100%.
It just works.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree with you.
You like the track with Chris Brown and this one?
No, which said about working seamlessly with other artists that are American.
I think he manages. I don't know why, but I just think
he's a great artist, no?
Yeah, like
but from what I've seen, he's not held up there as the same as Wizkid and Rema.
Do you know why though? I think the issue with him is there's always going to be he's a rich kid, like because he's like a rich kid. There's always that like stain on him, which doesn't allow people to really give him his flowers as an artist because it's always like, oh, you're here because of your dad's money or you're here. Do you know what I mean? Like I think
Nepo baby.
I think that's what kind of doesn't allow people. Whereas with the likes of Wiz, Ashake, like they're like area boys,
grassroots.
Like grassroots. So like people really like gravitate towards them.
Okay.
But then he's got the best, in my opinion, he's got the best personality. Like if you're gonna follow someone on socials, like he's actually really funny. He's like down to earth. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I thought he was adored.
a what?
No, not as much as Wizkid and Ashake.
Really?
Not as much as them two.
When it comes to music, no.
Yeah, he even battles with it in the album. He
Yeah.
kind of subtly brings it up in the album. He doesn't see himself as a Goliath. He sees himself as the underdog.
Davido. Interesting.
I think he's still being seen as top 3 though.
He's still up there, but my point
he's three.
is
He's
never gonna be, he's never like, they always throw in the fact that he's a rich kid.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's true.
Shah Esther, she got a comment up.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, she said, Ramsey, he's definitely rated highly. Oh wait, I missed one. Love Davido's album. It's his most mature body of work and highlights his musical growth. I enjoyed all the tracks. Only skipped Holy Water for obvious reasons, but he did well with this. Then she said, Ramsey, he's definitely rated highly in the game. It's just Wizkid and Burner fans that make him seem like he's not rated. But Davido is a big deal. He was the first to work with other African artists. This isn't my assumption because I don't follow the game too much. But this is what I've read and this is what he said. So that's only what I'm gathering. But my favourite tracks are Offer Me featuring Victoria Monet. And I might be butchering this word, so you're going to have to help me. Is it Awuke?
Nailed it.
Shut up.
Yeah, man.
How can you say nailed it?
But yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed it a lot more than the Shake album. Definitely a lot more than Rema's album. It just bloated. It was just too bloated. Brent, what do you say? What say you?
I gave it 3 on the first listen. I might change it to 3.5. Don't know. Maybe. Anything I like. Be There Still, smooth. Banger. R&B, smooth. Holy Water, smooth. There were a few others that I liked that was smooth. I got a big Amapiano vibe from it.
Yes,
and
there were
really
the drums.
well.
Yeah.
He really does well on Amapiano beats, man. Yeah, I'll give it another listen. I might change that to 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not. I'm interested to see what numbers he does. In comparison to his comrades and that. Put you on, please.
So.
I say we go.
No. It's so funny. She hasn't been here for a few weeks and I've forgotten her name. Crazy.
Who?
Esther. Whew, got it.
Okay.
Esther, how much do you give it? What are your rotations? Let us know. Seeing as you are only qualified
It's offending
one.
her over the pond.
Other than this young man to be talking about it.
It's what?
Ramsey's a music connoisseur,
Yeah.
so he has the right.
For the put you on, while we wait for Esther, can we go, please, for Duran Bernard? That's what I titled the image.
All right.
So, first track. So, these put you ones are different to all the others. I just want to let everyone know, because the rotation has been done, because music has been horrid since the start of the year. I've gone and picked put you on songs from the albums that I've enjoyed since the start of the year.
Oh.
So, this is Duran Bernard.
Esther says 4 rotations.
Okay.
Nice.
So it's a solid body of work.
Shout out Esther. One last question, Esther. How does this compare to the 2 other albums we've listened to? So Shake's latest and Rema's latest. So let me know. I'm interested. We have Duran Bernard, American singer, songwriter, producer, known for his unique blend of R&B, neo soul, and pop. He's pretty much internationally recognized as one of the best vocals currently in the game. He has a huge range. His vocals can go high and low, and a range of falsetto. His third album, Bloom, came out, I want to say, a couple months ago, but the song that I gave Brent is, let me say it properly, Jump. I like the song. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5.
It's about desire, isn't it? And then discipline. It's good because I was talking about it last night.
Yes, it is. It is exactly that. It's about not making the wrong decisions because you feel like doing it out of impulse.
Yeah. Remember those
In
times?
in his specific world, yes.
Remember those times?
What?
When you made decisions and you regretted it?
No, I regret every day. What do you give it?
I'll give it a 3.5 too.
Okay, cool.
It's quite nice.
Iman.
I didn't listen to this one.
Oh, now you want to be honest.
It's not
You
now.
didn't want to be honest about the first one.
I can't believe it.
So are you going to tell me, you're going to look me in my face and tell me that you didn't, no, Brent, put the camera on him. You're going to look and tell me that you didn't shake your head. Why are you looking away?
I'm looking into your face.
No. My face is here. No. And shake your head and say you didn't listen to it. Just be honest. Why are you lying?
About what? What are we talking about today?
Resurrection was on Sunday.
And this is the things that we have to remember.
Jesus Christ.
You don't care about Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine?
Did you listen to any of the putty ones?
No, I didn't get. The albums are long. You know
The
what I'm
albums
saying?
weren't, because one was 6 tracks
That's
and the
EP.
other one was 17.
This
This is one song each.
That's
You know
a
what I'm
lot.
saying?
Usually I give
So I prioritize
usually I give
those.
3 albums.
No, but I prioritize
Allowed
those.
you with an EP with 6 songs.
No, but I prioritize those over the put you ones. You know what I'm saying?
Put You Ones is actually where we debate the most, actually.
You should have told me.
Yeah, right. I'll check my job. Seriously, I've done my homework. Next track, please. Brent, could we put Duckworth?
Duckworth.
Just to answer Josh, Josh just put up no review of Gramsci and Saviour. I can go through that quick, but I'm just going to go through the put you ones because I did listen to Gramsci and Saviour. I did listen to a few other albums that dropped last week as well. Duckworth, American rapper, singer, songwriter known for his genre-bending style that incorporates hip-hop, R&B, alternative, and electronic beats. His new album, All American F-Boy, is probably one of the most creative albums that I've dropped this year. The song I picked specifically, and that I sent to everyone to not listen to, is Grayscale. I really, really like the song. The album in general, it's not your... If you're not into experimental, alternative, rap, R&B, almost into like soft rock, then I would recommend you not to go into this album. But if you got an open mind and you want to listen to something that's different, this is definitely an album to go to. I think I give the song 4 out of 5.
Wow.
Brent,
2 out of 5.
Cool.
I don't like the artwork.
oh, did you listen to the whole album?
Sorry?
Did you listen to the whole album?
Artwork.
He doesn't like the artwork.
Oh, you don't like the artwork. Oh, okay. Yeah, the album itself, I forgot to mention, is conceptual. So he kind of goes from starting as an F-boy and realizing he's just got Lakeith Stanfield doing the skits. You'd like it. Skits only 30 seconds long, and it kind of runs into a story towards the end, and he kind of explores his dad's influence on him and just why he's a waste man at the beginning of the album. Artwork I can't really speak to. I don't get it. It
Not
doesn't.
really a good track. I mean, Kendrick tried to save it, but
Oh, that's the wrong
Kendrick.
album. That's the wrong song.
Serious?
Yes.
It's not a song with Kendrick?
No. This is just by himself.
Playboy.
This isn't Playboy Carti. It was
Sorry.
like Duckworth.
I just wanted to get
So I know. That's why I left. That's why I left it to
Alright, let me
last.
take back the 2.5.
That's why I left it to last.
Hold on. I'll put it back down.
Cool. Let's go into next. That's why I left the Playboy Carti song for last. Let's go. The last Put You On song is Playboy Carti and Kendrick Lamar. Good Credit. Whenever Brent is ready to put it up.
And boom.
That's why you made. That's why you made the face. That's why you made the face.
I like this outfit.
All right, the album artwork is trash. We have lovely guests with us, so I'm not going to speak the way I usually speak, but I want to say a lot more harshful stuff about the album cover. It's trash. I hate it. The typography, everything. Anyway, Playboy Carti, as you don't know, very experimental. 500 flows. He can't rap, but the kids love him. He has an opium following. I'm not even gonna say almost like he has a cult following. This album has taken him 5 years to release.
Oh wow!
But we're laughing, and it sounds horrid for the most part. This album was the second best-selling rap album this year, behind The Weeknd or R&B/rap.
Oh nice.
He sold 350,000 units.
Wow.
In this
era. Yeah.
is nuts, right?
Yeah. Big
So
up
you,
him.
especially without the streaming and how convoluted and Kafka-esque all that is, he has made numbers. Now, personally, I think what exacerbated those numbers was Kendrick Lamar, because he kept that feature hidden until it was released. So he released it with he had a feature list, but he hid Kendrick's name.
Oh nice. Strategy.
Kendrick's on there either backup dancing or actually featuring on 3 tracks, which is Backdoor, Mojo Jojo, and the song I picked for Put You On, which is Good Credit. Now, personally, I think Good Credit is one of the best songs in the album because it doesn't have, also on the album, it has someone called, I can't believe, Swamp Izzo, who's featured on literally the whole album. He's literally shouting Swamp Izzo throughout the whole of the album.
As in he's shouting.
He's shouting on the track like as a tag.
Okay.
Remember like mixtape days? You had like Gangster Grills, but it's just him shouting Swamp Izzo over and over and over. One specific song called Crank, he's just literally screaming. Like he's shrieking on the track. So to say this album, one, is not for us. I think we're too old.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, we're way too old. I'm not his demographic. I don't dress like him as well. Second thing is that there's no lyricism. There's no rhyming scheme. There's nothing. It's literally him either squealing, doing something, making his voice deep on a track, or just making like a crackhead symphony where he's just grunting on a track. None of it is concise. None of it makes sense. The kids love it. But this track with Kendrick, again, Kendrick doing something hella random, and he's literally laughs maniacally in the middle of his verse after Swamp Izzo interrupts him. But it's grown on me pause. I think I give this song in particular, I think I give it a 3.5.
I'll do that.
Or 4. Actually, no, yeah, 4. Let me give it 4. Give it a 4.
But the entire project you give.
Oh no, entire project I give it 1.
Okay.
The 1, 2, maybe. But yeah, it's not. But yeah, Brent, please.
2.5.
You got nothing else to say?
Nope. And to say that the 350K is due to Kendrick is crazy.
No, I said he exacerbated the numbers.
Don't even mention it, man. He gets them numbers anyway.
Who? Carti?
Yeah, man.
What did he get for the last album?
350.
No, he didn't.
Got 349.
What was the album? Just talking rubbish. He's talking nonsense. Esther's come back to us. She said, I'm comparing to the 2, 3. Oh, she gave. Wait, what? 2, 3 from Rama and Ashake. Basically, Davido's song has more replay value and will be in the charts for longer. 100%. Davido's album has a fuller replay value. Currently in Nigeria, Be There Still, Awuke, and the Funds are being played everywhere. Look at me picking the best track being played in Nigeria, Brent. Don't hate on me, bro. Don't hate on me.
Be There?
I said that. No, she's saying it's playing there.
Does it Be There?
Huh?
Be There?
No, that's what them lot are playing in Nigeria. Them man are banging Awuke. My favourite track. Not yours. With the full album now, there'll be more trending songs. Cool. You don't have anything else to say about Playboi Carti, Brent?
No.
Okay.
He's had enough.
Let me jump into quickly Chip's album, Grime Scene Savior. Did you hear that, by chance? Okay. No one's gonna take anything away from Chip. Yeah, he can spit. He's got bars. When it comes to beef, that's when he's on Super Saiyan 4 mode. Sick. Personally, I don't think Chip has dropped a good album, possibly since the start of his career.
What?
Damn.
What did you say?
I don't
That's
think
harsh,
Chip
man.
has dropped a good album.
Since the start
Don't
of his-
get confused for
I know,
project. Album since the start of his career.
Okay.
This album felt like a mishmash. He had to do one song for the girls, one song for the Mandem. He done a Grime Scene Savior song. Then he did another song with Scorcher. I think possibly the Scorcher song is my favorite. Then he done one for the ladies and so on and so forth. But all of them kind of followed, apart from the last 2 tracks in which he got a lot more introspective, which again is a thing that people do in albums. It had no cohesion, personally, for me. But Chip can still spit. He said a couple bars that made me laugh, but other than that, he can spit.
Okay.
I'm assuming Brent, you didn't get time at all to go into Chip.
Did you ask me to check it?
No, I'm just saying in general.
No.
I think that is it. Yeah, we're keeping it brief because we've got lovely guests with us.
No, that was perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah.
The top brief was perfect.
Cool, thank you. Swamp Izzo.
So,
Yes.
all right. Let's do a quick reaction, Ben.
All right.
All right, people. Welcome to the reaction. There isn't actually. You know what? There was a few things that happened over the weekend. Let me read out the scores to you. So on Sunday, Fulham lost at home to Chelsea 2-1. Arsenal beat Ipswich 4-0 away. Liverpool beat Leicester City 1-0. And Wolverhampton Wanderers beat Man United 1-0. And on Monday, yesterday, Tottenham at home lost to Nottingham Forest 2-1. Brent, quickly, what are your thoughts on Arsenal and Ipswich?
Easy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Premier League's finished, to be honest. Liverpool's gotten it.
And Leicester got relegated now, innit?
Yes.
Yeah, they're officially
unfortunately.
relegated. Yeah. All right. Also, there was some boxing over the weekend. So I remember speaking to you guys about Ben Whittaker. So everyone was obviously kind of held a lot of criticism at Ben Whittaker in his previous fight. Was it like 6 months or so ago against Liam Cameron? It resulted in a draw where basically both fighters fell out of the ring, and it seemed as though Liam Cameron pretty much, Ben Whittaker took the easy way out. This is what it seemed like to me, if I'm being entirely honest. But again, they had the rematch. Everyone was talking about it, and everyone wanted to see the potential of Ben Whittaker. This is an Olympic silver medalist. Had so much potential. Everyone was speaking about him being a future of British boxing, and that previous performance just didn't live up to it. So he had to basically show and prove who he was in this fight, and he did exactly that. He stopped Liam Cameron in the second round with a powerful right hand that led to the referee jumping in. I'll be honest with you though, I was upset at the stoppage. I felt as though the referee jumped in prematurely and stopped that fight. Liam Cameron was definitely hurt, but I think you could have given him a standing 8 count. I think. And yeah, you could have given him a chance to continue. I really don't think it warranted a stoppage, if I'm being entirely honest. But again, Ben Whittaker was in control of the fight, man. He seemed to get hit a few times cleanly by Liam Cameron in the first round, so it looked like it was going to be a competitive fight. But again, Ben Whittaker just stepped it up, kept moving forward with the jab, and then he just hit him with a sick right hand. He stumbled, took him into the corner, basically just kept giving him shots, and the referee just jumped in. So yeah, that was it. That was the end of their saga. But what happened after that, and this is probably some of the biggest controversy surrounding the fight, is people thought that Ben Whittaker ran to the opposing corner and spat at the opposing corner's team. I didn't see that happening. I don't think that happened at all. But it looked as though he basically went over there to basically kind of gloat. You know what I mean? Like, I've told you so, that sort of thing. And so it didn't look good. and people were kind of thinking, you know, when it comes to being, you know, like sportsmanship, that wasn't a good look. And obviously, it took a bit away from obviously his win. But yeah, all being said though, he won. He's back. He had an emotional press conference. He was crying, basically saying, "Listen, like I understood that people felt a particular way about me, but it was sad that even family members, friends that I considered family, kind of stepped away from me after that last performance." So it was emotional for him, and that's probably the reason why he reacted the way he reacted. And the next fight as well, that was also on the undercard, was Fraser Clark. So Fraser Clark, as you guys know, he basically was recovering from a bad loss to Fabio Wardley in their rematch, where his face basically got caved in, man. Boxing is a dangerous sport, you know what I mean? But he came out and, yeah, he put in a great performance. And he stopped Ebenezer Tete in the second round. Sorry, in the first round. In the first round, I believe. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I think that was also a premature stoppage as well. But Clark, he's a good boxer, man. He's a good Olympian as well. And yeah, he went in there, dominated. You know what I'm saying? He did to Ebenezer Tete what Dillian White couldn't do, and some other boxers as well. Because Tete, again, like he's a solid guy. He's not an elite heavyweight boxer, but he's a solid guy. And for him to get knocked down in that first round and then basically end the fight the way he did was brilliant as well. Tyler Denny was fighting as well on undercard. He beat Elvis Ahoga by a 97-92 scorecard. It was a tough fight, but he pretty much was in control of pretty much the whole fight. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the boxing. But it was a good card. It was a decent watch, man. Marcus, did you watch it?
I missed it, man. Was that the fight in Brum as well?
Yes.
Yeah, hold up.
Max,
Don't ask me any questions, yeah? No, Emmanuel, I'm going to
yeah, he has to take out the mic so that
You listen to Carty's album.
Playboy Carty.
Yeah, Carty. Playboy Carty.
Not properly, but I
One second, people.
Didn't he say don't ask him any good?
No, he's basically saying in the future, because to have Marg's mic working, his has to come off.
Oh.
Huh?
Glad you understood that.
Yeah, of course.
Am I back now?
Yeah,
you're back, yeah.
Because I left. Because I left. The last track I put you on was I was slightly trolling you.
It's a terrible song, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what it is?
For most people.
I ain't heard the whole thing, yeah?
Okay.
There was, I don't know what it's
Come
called.
on, what's that?
Huh?
What's that?
Where?
I see it.
Though your mic isn't on and you're
That's
interrupting
why I'm
us.
shouting and projecting my voice. What are you on your left hand there?
Oh, your wedding band.
My band, didn't it?
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, man.
I mean, I
It's
saw it.
right.
I congratulated him already.
What
You know
a
what I'm saying?
gentleman.
Thank
Come
you,
on.
man. Come on, man.
Can we get context for the audience who's
No.
I said yes, I'm engaged, yeah.
Oh, you?
Yes.
I'm going to be married to
Of
now, man.
course.
Shut up, man.
Is this your experiment thing
What
that we
experiment?
spoke about? Or
Babe, this is as real as it gets.
I swear.
Look, me, Ramsey.
Don't touch me.
You know what I'm saying?
What are you talking about?
Can I be honest? It suits you though.
I lie? I look regal. I look regal, I lie? Come on, man. Just a good, honest man here, man.
No,
That's
put
it.
your hand out. Let me see.
Don't do it like that. Do it like that. Don't do it like that. Don't do it like that.
No, I mean, it suits
That was
you.
crazy. Don't ever do it like
Man
that.
went to Kenya and got married. I hear it.
Come on, man. It's all right.
Passport, bro. Yeah. What did you think of the album, or at least the tracks?
The stuff that I heard sounded like terrible. I heard one that was decent, yeah. That
Don't say it.
the beat was cold. I can't remember what it's called, man. I heard one that was
Evil Jordan.
I don't know what it's called. There's
Okay.
one that I heard in passing. I was like, oh no, this is slightly decent, but the rest of them are crazy.
Okay.
And what's the ones? Because didn't you do a reaction to the Kendrick ones?
I did just now. I did the one for good credit, but I didn't talk about Mojo Jojo or Backdoor.
What's the ones where like he's like I don't
Doing
know,
ad libs, backup dancing.
he's just going crazy. And I've seen all the people on the blogs. You probably done a reaction to it talking about how it's amazing and all that. And these verses are. And you know when he does the evil laughing, he goes,
Yeah,
"Wah."
that's what I said. That's what I brought up. That's what I said. I said he's laughing maniacally in the middle of the verse.
What are you rating that?
I was like, that made me laugh.
But was you rating it though?
Nah, it's weird, but he's always been weird. He's done weird stuff on the track all the time.
Yeah, no, those verses are whack. so whack.
I like the bar when he said that beat on point like ASAP Rally I'm talking about, and he stopped. I like that bar.
To the Kendrick's bar.
Yeah, he said that be on point like ASAP. Really, I'm talking about and stopped.
The problem with Kendrick is it's because he's talented and he's got skills in it and he can rap in it.
He can just do nonsense.
So he's mixing up that with the nonsense and it's confusing you. Lot. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you get what I mean though?
It sounds good though.
It's debatable, man.
All right. Well, I think we can get into the best part of the show today. All right. Oh, let's do that. Yeah, burning that with the mics, please. 1 second, people. 1 second, people.
Do you know?
Oh, I was even using my thing.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Thank you. Thank you.
I look at it on my phone. Thank you.
Okay, people. We did mention that we've got some amazing guests today. Yes. Their work has touched countless lives. They've changed the landscape of healthcare and community action in the UK. They're the founders of a long-standing charity doing vital work in our community, people. And we, TDA, TMB, we are genuinely honored to have them with us today in the studio. Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Good morning to you.
Good morning. We're fine, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for
look at
coming.
us. I'm not sure about that one of me. Orin looks fine. Anyway.
All right. In fact, you know what? First thing, do you mind introducing yourselves to the people?
Yeah, sure. My name's Beverly DeGale. I'm one half of the founders of the ACLT, the African Caribbean Leukemia Trust. And as Orin always reminds me, I must always say, I am the very proud mother of a young man whose name was Daniel DeGale.
Yeah.
And I'm Oren Lewis. I'm the other co-founder of the ACLT, the chief executive, and proud stepfather of Daniel DeGale.
Thank you. We're definitely going to get into more of your story. But before we do, we like to play a game with every guest, right?
Oh, goodness.
Just to kind of break the ice. Basically, it's just a mixture of questions. Some of them are preference questions, so it could be like an Amazon Prime or Netflix. Some of them are actual knowledge-based questions, right or wrongs, right?
You didn't tell us this bit.
It's just a little bit of fun.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna get into it. It's gonna be over a beat. It's only gonna be for like 1 minute, 60 seconds, and yeah, from there. Thank you, Brent.
Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect. All right, so we're gonna basically read the questions to you. One of the, I guess, the secrets to do well in this is if you don't know, just say pass straight away, so you can get through as many questions as possible. We're gonna start at the top, guys.
Who's going first?
Clockwise.
Okay, I'll go first, and then. Well,
That's not anti-clockwise.
That's anti-clockwise.
That's what I was thinking.
Clockwise.
all right, whichever one you want to do.
So I'm after you, basically.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right. So when you guys ready? Ready? Brent, you ready?
All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Music or movies?
Music.
How many wings does a butterfly have?
2.
Who was the first black British woman to win an Olympic gold medal?
Tessa Sanderson.
Yeah.
Smoothies or milkshakes?
Smoothies.
Shakes.
How many zeros are there in 1 million?
6.
6.
Black or African?
Black.
African.
What is the capital of Sierra Leone?
Freetown.
Who recently headlined the Super Bowl halftime show?
Kendrick Lamar.
Come on.
Religion or spirituality?
Spirituality.
What is the square root of 81?
9.
Name a Premier League team that wears red.
Arsenal.
Man United.
All right then. Walking or biking?
Walking.
What's the main language spoken in Mexico?
Spanish.
Who was the first black woman to win Best Actress at the Academy Awards?
Halle Berry.
No, Best Actress.
Text or voice note?
Text.
Voice note.
That was really good, man. That
Yeah,
was
you got quite
really
far.
good, man. I'm gonna score this up and see where you fare on the table.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Did they get all? They didn't get all of them right, though, did they?
I think one of them was
Butterflies have 4 wings.
I did question that in my head.
Yeah.
I think
It was interesting to see the ones that they answered at the same time, but
Yeah.
different answers, yeah.
All right, so let's get into this. So please tell us basically what you do and a bit more about ACLT, please.
What we do is save lives. That's what we do with the help of others in the community, locally, regionally, nationally, internationally, by spreading a health message about how someone can be of total value to a total stranger who they probably will never know, but by stepping forward as a potential blood donor or bone marrow stem cell donor or organ donor, they might be of service to someone who ethnically similar to them looking for the gift of life. And we spent nearly 30 years doing that body of work, and will continue for many, many more years, collectively and individually, just trying to make a difference to someone in need of the gift of life.
We started 30 years ago.
Wow.
And started 3 years after our son Daniel was diagnosed with an acute form of leukemia. He'd had 2 years of treatment to try and get him into remission, and everything seemed to be going well. 9 months after coming out of treatment, he relapsed. The leukemia came back, and at this point we was told that he needed a bone marrow donor to try and save his life. So initially they look within the family. Brothers and sisters of the same parents have a 1 in 4 chance of matching. Daniel's got a sister. She was 6 at the time. She was tested. She wasn't a match. You can look, at that point, you could look outside of the sibling matches at parents, but we just weren't good enough matches. And so we was told by Daniel's bone marrow specialist at Great Ormond Street Hospital that he had a 1 in a 250,000 chance of finding a donor.
Wow.
And we couldn't understand why. And he explained very simply that bone marrow matching is race specific. In order for Daniel to get a match, it would have to come from within the black community. And at that point, less than 580 black people had ever registered as potential donors. The UK registry had at that point been going for 24 years, and not enough of us had registered. And the registries had been trying to get us to register, but was practically falling on deaf ears. And for myself and Oren, it was that moment where we just looked at each other and we knew we had to do something. We couldn't rely on the registries that were in this country. And so we set up the ACLT to try and help Daniel, but also it was immediately obvious to us that there were other people that found themselves in this situation, felt paralyzed to do anything, dealing with treatments and everything else that's going on at the same time. So we set up the ACLT, African Caribbean Leukemia Trust, to help Dan, to help others, but also, although our focus was on the black community, we immediately agreed that this was for everyone. Anyone that needed to find a donor, anybody that wanted to register could come through us and we'd get them signed up.
So what we would do, we would go to schools, colleges, universities, the religious sector, shopping malls, wherever there was an audience of people, especially people from our background, we would confront them with the facts. We'd have posters, they would see a poster with Daniel and others, and it would say something like, if these boys, or if this boy was white, would he, if he was white, would he survive? If he was black, would he survive? Asking direct questions of the community, and to tease out the inner myths and fears and taboos that are inherent, especially within our community, about health matters, especially donating something of yourself to a stranger. And we would get into real deep discussions and to try and get people to realize actually we're talking to them because of their ethnicity. We're not saying to white people you can't join. You can join. You will help one of your own.
Yeah.
But to you, this black person, male, female, young, old, mixed heritage, we wanted them on board, and they would listen and they would realize and they go, okay, I'm either going to make that decision now and join, or I'm going to take it away because I'm now informed, and maybe do it at a later stage in my life. But I've now got the information. So we were there to really educate, give knowledge, drop knowledge on people, and planting seeds and things started to grow. With us as a charity, with volunteers, going on media. This is in the early days of the internet. The internet was so small. There was no social media back then, so it was pure word of mouth, newspapers, the radio, mainstream media, the church, and we started to make a difference. We started to see people coming to us and saying, "Yes, I want to join." And back in those days, you had to give a blood sample to be actually tested to see whether you can actually be a compatible match for Daniel or anyone else like him. And it's a worldwide initiative, bone marrow stem cell donation. I use the word bone marrow stem cell because they're interchangeable, meaning the same thing.
Sorry, do you know what the numbers? You said it was like 500 or something people on the register
at the time.
At the time,
just under 600.
Do you know what the numbers are now?
Of black people?
Yeah, at any given time, there's probably about 50,000 of us on the register at any given time. But what happens is you get a drop off in terms of people reaching the maximum age to stay on the register, or they come off, or ill health, or they move. So you've always got people joining and coming off, joining and coming off. But when we started, it was literally we were told about 580 people in 23, 24 years. And for me and Beverly, it was that light bulb moment. What are we going to do? And we knew straight away that others had been in our shoes, had been told the same situation for their loved ones, and realized this is too hard a battle. This is I'm not going to run. I'm going to pass the baton on to someone else. So for me, when we were told that this news in January 1996 that Daniel needed a donor, I felt like there's a baton on the floor. It needs to be picked up, and we need to run in the direction that we think is forward, but making it up as we go along, because we had no plan. We had nothing to fall back on. And so we started to, metaphorically speaking, run, bringing on volunteers, getting people to join. And in your heart and soul, if you're doing something right, and that's how it felt. But it was like we're looking for the light switch to see the bigger picture, and we could see for Daniel, deep in the distance, this light where we needed to get to, but we didn't know how far away it was, and at times it just kept getting further and further, and we're getting tens and 20s and hundreds of people coming through and joining. Daniel's trying to get on with his life as a small boy, school, missing loads of school, in and out of hospital. He would bounce between Great Ormond Street Hospital and our local hospital in South London, because he would have the treatment at Great Ormond Street, the chemo, which is really, really harsh. Chemotherapy is really harsh. When you see doctors and nurses administering chemotherapy, they're wearing visors and gloves and things because this is toxic stuff. Daniel will have this treatment and then end up at our local hospital days later because of the side effects of the treatment. So when you see someone with cancer and they're very bloated, bald, lost their hair, mood swings.
Sometimes they're bloated, sometimes they've lost a lot.
It's the steroids that are pumping them up, the chemo, and you see the side effects of the treatment, not so much of the actual cancer.
And the treatments can be harsher than the actual illness. I mean, we all know someone who's had cancer, right? And we see how that manifests itself on us. And when you see it on a child, it's heartbreaking.
Man.
Yeah. So for us, it was that was part of this day-to-day journey. But
also, although there are about 50,000 black people registered at the moment, over the 30 years that ACLT has been going, well, it'll be 30 years next year, we've actually registered over 200,000 people.
Wow. Yeah. Amazing.
And alongside the work that we do with bone marrow stem cell donation, we also encourage blood donation within the black community and organ donation. Because we've been going for nearly 30 years, our knowledge of this subject matter has grown immensely. And it's very apparent to us how important donation is within our community to try and help people that look like us who are living with illnesses, not just blood cancers, but sickle cell disorder, which in this country the numbers keep going up, but I think at the moment we're saying about 17,000 of
At any
us
given
have
time.
sickle cell.
So you see those numbers there. Obviously, they sound high, like 50,200 registers, but are they actually high in comparison to
The white counterparts.
No, not at all. We've still got a lot of work to do. The biggest problem, it's a nice problem, is in that we come from the largest gene pool in the world. Every doctor who understands this subject matter will tell you, if you are of African heritage, you are coming from the largest gene pool, which means you literally need 10 of us to register as stem cell donors for every one white Northern European person that needs a match, which makes our task harder. However, in our 30 years, we've found over 200 stem cell donors for patients in this country and around the world.
Wow.
So it's working, but it could work a lot better if we can reach wider audiences through programs like The Day After.
Do you think you know the reasons why like our communities don't donate and stuff? Have you worked it out?
Yeah, it's a combination of things. One is lack of awareness.
That's the big one.
People not realizing, I can actually be of service to someone by giving a blood sample or giving a cheek swab to be put on the bone marrow stem cell register, or donating my organs after I pass away. Not realizing that ethnicity is key to the best outcome for people who look like them, who are looking for donors. On bone marrow stem cell side of things, it doesn't really cross the racial line. So white people, you don't find white people donating to black people and Asians to white people and so on. It doesn't. It's like for like. And because, as Beverly says, people of African descent come from the most diverse gene pool in the whole wide world, you got to get many more of them coming through the door in comparison to other races. And if it's compounded by lack of awareness, myths and fears and taboos, then those people from those backgrounds, black people, are gonna wait far, far longer for those matching donors who are actually there, but just not stepping forward because of, mainly because of the reluctance. And it goes to your question about why. One of the key points is mistrust. There's deep inherent mistrust within our community when it comes to giving something of ourselves to others, to the medical establishment. Now, we understand in our history, a lot of things have been done to us in the name of research, medical science. You know, whether that be on the African continent or whether it be in the diaspora through slavery. We know a lot of things have been done, and we don't shy away from it, and we make sure that those who did it to us, we make them know we know. Okay, we know, it's all documented. But despite that, we as a race of people, if our genes go back to Africa in some shape, directly, indirectly, we have to stand up and say, you know what, this one's on us. Because science has proved categorically that it's up to us to step forward to make the difference on behalf of our own. Because if we say what's gone in the past is the reason why we're not going to do it, then we are doing major disservice to those who need it now and the future generations. So we're saying to our people, I mean, our motto used to be, and we still sort of work by this, by any means necessary. You know, and we need to very much as a group of people front up and say, okay, let's now start to donate blood. Let's join the stem cell register and be that ultimate insurance policy for someone like Daniel, who was searching. We were going all around the country, Europe, even into America. We were putting out messages to say that if you're a black person, please step forward, because Daniel is representative of so many other children. And Daniel had many ups and downs in his journey. He actually relapsed twice.
Wow.
And his chances had dropped to 25%. Eventually, a born again Christian in Detroit, Michigan, listened to a similar message like what we've been given and joined the American registry, and within months was found to be Daniel's match.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
She was the lottery winner that suddenly stepped forward. She was notified, and she spoke to her family and spoke to her pastor, and everyone said, yeah, you know, it goes hand in hand with your beliefs, our faith, to help. And Wednesday, 16th of June, 1999, after 6 years of searching, finally Daniel got what he needed, a bone marrow stem cell transplant. Basically, it's a fluid, a pinkish looking fluid that can be donated from the bone marrow, which is a spongy tissue in your big bones of your body. Technology has now allowed it to be done via the blood.
Okay.
So you can actually donate it via the blood.
I thought they put that big needle in your spine.
That's the old method, and it's not your spine, it's your hip bone. See, and these are the myths that we have to try and speak to people about.
Is it a painful experience to do? Or it was back in the day, but it's not anymore?
I suppose that's the best way to explain it. I always use this description of people who've done it before. Someone described it like they've been in the garden, bending down, picking up weeds, and they got that sort of stiffness in the back, or someone kneed them in the back, that sort of numbness. Doreen, who's Daniel's donor, she had it done that way because back then that was the only way to donate. Technology has now moved on where you can actually donate, and most people now donate via the blood. But it was a donation that was done via the hip region. When she woke up from under the general anesthetic, she was in tears because she realized the enormity of what she had done. Because all she was told, it was for a 12-year-old boy. That was it. I'm not even. I think she may have been told he was out of the country. That was about the most. And for us, all we were told it was a mid-40s, African American woman,
female.
That was it. And for her, it was a simple, days later, that very small amount of bone marrow stem cells had come across the Atlantic to Great Ormond Street Hospital, where we were waiting. Daniel had been in an isolation room for a total week because they eradicate all the old damaged bone marrow cells by radiotherapy. So it's total body radiation that's given to get rid of the bad cells whilst waiting for the new good cells to come in, and it's a transfusion. I actually filmed it. Daniel was actually sitting on the bed. He's a Man United, mad Man United fan, and he was sitting in his Man United shirt, and the nurse walked in very casually, whistling to herself, and she hooked up this bag of pink-looking cells, and about 45 minutes later, it had gone into a line into his chest, into his bone marrow system. And in reality, what really happens inside the system is that the new cells recognize that they're migrating into a new bone marrow system. They see the existing good cells as foreign, and vice versa, and they start to have a bit of a ruckus, a bit of a tangle, a fight, because they're not together. But because they're similar, it's a similar match. They settle down, and the doctors see the signs of that when they start looking at Daniel and his blood counts, which are literally zero at the beginning, and they start to pick up and pick up and pick up, and the rash disappears, and the gut problems start to disappear. Because anyone that receives a bone marrow stem cell transplant, they go on a real low journey before it starts to pick up. And once it starts to pick up, the match is doing well. They want to see a bit of friction, but not too much. And then it takes anything from 2, or in Daniel's case, 5 years to get the all clear. Because there was some ups and downs still he had to get through. But eventually got through, went back to school, went back to college, university, the life. And we, as the charities, pushing on, finding donors for so many other people, doing blood donation drives because Daniel needed blood as part of his treatment. And that's a regular thing for someone like Daniel who has a blood cancer. They get lots and lots of blood transfusions. And we're trying to get our life back, but things are not always as it seems, because when you've waited 6 years for a donor to come along and you received lots and lots of blood transfusions, it can become counterproductive. Because if you get a lot of blood and donations, and it's not from the same group of people on a regular basis, you start to build up antibodies within your blood, which fight your own blood. And that, over a long period of time, can become a problem. And in the end, that became the ultimate problem for Daniel.
Basically, Dan was getting blood from well-intentioned white people trying to help him. We couldn't get enough of our people to donate with the right type that Daniel needed, and it created problems with his organs. So he passed away at the age of 21 from multiple organ failure, which is why we was doing blood donation before, but when that happened and we did some more research and started to understand about the sickle cell community, it became one of the main areas of our work to get our people to start donating blood on a regular basis. And actually is one of the main reasons that Emmanuel got in touch with us, because he saw some work that we was doing with the 90s babies. And he wanted to see what they could do to help, hence us sitting here today, in the hope that we can persuade some of the listeners to join us on the 31st of May at a special blood drive we're holding in Brixton.
Amazing.
It really is. When you track what we've been doing for 29, nearly 30 years, I mean, for us, it's an honor and a privilege to be doing this, because we see the cause and effect on so many people who we work with. I mean, we work with people hopefully to get to a good end. Sickle cell patients getting the right type of blood. Organ patients finally getting an organ transplant after doing a campaign with them. Patients, like Daniel and many others who've needed transplants. And it's great. But of course, there's always a contrast when those who you've worked with sometimes don't make it. And I heard you talking about the football scores and things recently. Well, the football community lost one of their own this weekend, young man.
Yeah, Joe Thompson, who played for Rochdale, I think, was a Man United youth player. Wow. He contacted us about 4 years ago and said that he'd been diagnosed with lymphoma, which is a blood cancer. Wow. Went through all the treatments, had a stem cell transplant, came to one of our galas, fundraising galas that we had in London. But sadly, he lost his life at the beginning of this Easter break. We can't save everyone. We can't. But we do our best to try and affect as many lives as possible of people who are affected by these conditions. I think about my son every day. And I think he would be proud of how far the charity has reached, but we're still not there. We've still got a lot of work to do. And we are thankful to you for having us here today to talk to a new audience and hopefully encourage some of the listeners to sign up.
Thank you very much for even blessing us with your presence and explaining everything to us. Because even prior to me seeing that post, I didn't know anything about the ACLT. I didn't know anything about blood drives, and you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's a lot of us in the community until something happens. And then we're forced to, you know what I mean? What are some of the restrictions so that people who are listening know off the bat? Like, is there age restrictions? Is there certain things that certain people can and can't do?
So to join the stem cell register, the age range to join is anything from 16 up to 55. Hence why we go into a lot of sixth form schools and address young people. And when they hear the facts, they'll just register because they want to see if they can help someone. The chances of you matching someone for stem cell are very slim. It is like looking for a needle in a haystack. But as I said, in our 30 years, we've found over 200 stem cell matching donors. So the matches are there, as Orin said. Some of them have just not stepped up yet. For blood donation, anyone can donate blood from the age of 17. And when you donate blood for the first time, if you continue, you can literally donate blood until the day you die, whether that's 70, 80, 90, 100 plus years of age. Anyone can donate as long as they donate for the first time. One donation of blood can save 6 babies' lives.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Wow.
Or 3 adults, you know. And certainly for Daniel, when he was receiving blood, he was actually receiving 3 to 5 units of blood every single week, which is why they found it so difficult to match the blood types that he needed. For sickle cell warriors, they may require regular blood transfusions, but also they can go through something called blood exchanges, which is where they will go into their local hospital and receive anything up to 8 units of blood in one hit, because they're literally taking out their existing blood,
Cells,
which is sickled, replacing it with healthy blood, and it just allows them to get on with life for a number of weeks without having a crisis. But as we say, the closer the blood is matched, the better it is for the patient. And within the Black community, we have this blood subtype called RO, which is found in 10% of donors, and the majority of, in 10% of blood donations, and it's coming from the Black community. And that blood is like liquid gold for sickle cell patients. So if you do donate blood and you're told you have the RO subtype,
You're like supercell.
you're like supercell.
Seriously, it's like you're wearing a cape, because that is the gold standard for sickle cell people.
Sickle cell patients.
Because they can make a bit of money. You know what I'm saying?
You know.
Yeah.
But you know, for I mean, I donate blood. I've got a gold card.
Okay.
Because I've done it so many times. In fact, my next one is within days.
Oh wow.
Yeah, today's I think it's the 25th. So I'm going to go to the Crystal Palace football ground where they do it, local to us, this week, and donate for the 59th time. And
wow,
for me, it's like I want to see many more of us who look like me, especially the men, stepping forward and actually saying, I want to represent, because we don't want anyone to go through what Daniel and the sickle cell warriors are going through, waiting, hoping that more Black people step forward. There is hope, because as we proved recently when we did the 90s baby show at Brixton, that drive and and others that we're getting involved with shows that young Black people, the Gen Z out there, they are the future. They're the future, and they're the present now in terms of wanting to listen, wanting to understand, make an informed decision, and saying, I want to do that because I want to give back to my people. I've listened, I've heard, I'm making an instant value decision, and I want to come forward. And because we do things in such a community way, it's unbelievable to watch when you see these young men and women coming through and saying, here I am. Which arm do you want? And because we have it within us.
Yep, this is it.
You just have to sometimes dig a lot deeper to get that instant reaction. But as we proved with Daniel's campaign in the past and other campaigns, and as we're proving now on the blood donation side of things, Black people will step forward in bigger numbers than anyone and do it in style.
That's right. That's right.
Do it in a way that everyone copies.
That's right.
But we are the originators when it comes to doing things in a style, in a fashion, and a phraseology, a body look that just says, we're here.
Right.
Have any of you donated blood?
I've not.
Have you?
Yeah. I have. Do you know what's interesting? I've actually raised money for you guys before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
It was probably 2017. So I used to do like fun days, and every time I did a fun day, I'd raise money for charity. So there was a year that I did it with you guys, and I had representatives come, give a speech, get people to sign up.
Oh, thank you. So have we met before?
No, it wasn't you two. No, no.
Okay.
But that's what it's about. It's about people saying, I can make a difference, and representing, and word of mouth makes a difference.
She's got a bigger audience now. She should tap her up after
Well. Also, I wanted to stress to people, remember, guys. That's it.
That never leaves you, boy. Spit out.
Remember, there's 20 exclusive blood donation slots, right?
Yes.
On the Saturday, the 31st of May
That's
at
correct.
Brixton Blood Donor Centre.
Yes.
Please, guys. Also, we're going to put a link in the description under this video. So anyone who's interested, you can register your interest there.
Did Mel send you the link?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah,
she did. Good.
I've got the link.
Have you
you very
donated
much.
blood, Brent?
I'm going to on the 31st.
That's not
I don't know
what
if
that's not what I asked
No,
you.
no,
Oh. Do you think there's a reason why though? I was just gonna try and think. Or, like, even
Yes, I was talking to Steve the other day, right? And then I don't know why I'm talking this.
Oh, you might.
Yeah, put it close to me. So I was asking Stephen if it is a he'd ever, because he's normally the person I go to when it is I want to kind of bounce back spiritual conversation with, right? So I'm thinking Stephen's going to tell me he hasn't given blood because of the whole connection with what could be taken from blood and whatnot. He's like, just haven't thought about it. I'm like, me too. So 100%, I'm going to check to see if it is. I have the arrow, whatever.
You don't.
Yeah, RO subtype.
Yeah, man. And then tap it in.
Yeah.
From
here.
Another point, you asked a very valid question in terms of what may stop people. If you've travelled,
Okay.
if you travel abroad to countries in, say, sub-Saharan Africa, which a lot of us do, just be aware that if you do travel, you've got to wait 4 months on your return to be able to donate.
Okay.
Also, tattoos, body piercing, and other things can stop you.
you just ruled me out
But
basically
why'd you say that?
because I'm covered in tattoos and I just come back from Gambia.
Well,
If the Gambia side would-
Gambia might be okay.
Yeah,
but,
tattoos. As long as the tattoos are 4 months previous,
Okay.
there's a gap.
Okay,
Yes,
nice.
but that's fine. It's only if you've been to a malaria country they just wait.
Okay.
They wait 4 months just to make sure there's no malaria
That
antibodies in
is
your blood.
definitely a malaria country.
Did you say Gambia?
Yeah.
I wanted
but-
to ask
Yeah.
a two-part question from earlier. I know you said that awareness or lack of awareness is the reason why black people don't donate blood. But I also wondered how much, because we know that the NHS, the Western medicine, they don't treat people of color with any respect. They're 5 times more likely to obviously die of childbirth. They don't understand other anatomies apart from their own. So how much of that and the fact that we don't trust the NHS as much as we should has played a part in the lack of donors?
To talk about the work you with the equity. that we're
Yeah.
doing.
It's a valid point. One of the things that we're working on right now, just to bookend what we've told you in terms of raising awareness. We work with lots of patients,
Okay.
counseling and everything, but we also work at the policy side, exactly about what you're talking about in terms of trying to get people who are the commissioners, that's the NHS, Department of Health, the new Labour government, the West Street and the health minister, to understand and appreciate, look, as was actually reported on the news this morning, the actual ambulance service have admitted that the way they treat sickle cell patients or sickle cell warriors is really bad. They get and they're now having to say, we need to redress this.
Yes.
And this is one of the things I and others are working on in terms of the all-party parliamentary group with a lot of black MPs to say, you know what, you need to address black health in a much more better way because the way it's been done before, it's criminal. Lives have been lost, not saved, lost because of the way you interact and prejudge patients. You think you see these sickle cell patients, warriors as we call them, coming into an A&E and you think they're junkies.
Yes. Well, one of my close friends, she's been suffering from sickle cell predominantly her whole life. And I've dealt with her firsthand when she had a crisis. I think she had a crisis in one of the worst spots in her body. And I've seen them not reinstate her morphine. And her morphine was down, I'm talking hours. So she's just writhing in pain and she's calling the nurse and they're ignoring her to the point where they're silencing her calls. So I'm visiting her, and this is in St. George's.
Okay.
So I visit her in St. George's, and I'm now fighting the nurses to give her the morphine. And they're, oh no, we got to do this. Oh no, she's always like that. Or the ignorance in regards to how much pain sickle cell patients go through when they're having a crisis is wild, and she deals with it all the time.
Yeah,
I think the word you just used, ignorance, is the problem that we are trying to work through with the health clinicians. I mean, recently we held a webinar about a new drug therapy which is now available to some sickle cell warriors in this country that will literally cure them.
Wow.
And most of the people that registered to listen to this webinar were from the NHS because they, although they treat sickle cell, most do not understand sickle cell.
Yeah, and it's they're not given respect. There's been a lack of investment in new therapies until this new one came out, and even then, to get this new one passed was a major battle because at first the governing body said no, it's cost too much, and you haven't proved your case.
Especially with West Streeting involved and Labour involved.
Yeah, exactly. So we had to. The community spent nearly a year campaigning, and it finally got overturned about a month or two ago. But that's how big the battle is to get respect, as you say, whether it be childbirth, prostate cancer, which affects black men far more than any other racial group.
Wow.
To try and get tests done in the way that, say, women get tests for breast cancer. It's not the same. Yeah. So it is. There's lack of awareness on both sides, but when we've come with the knowledge and say, right, we're representing, we want the commissioners and the stakeholders who have the purse strings and the decision making to actually acknowledge that there's an imbalance, a health imbalance, and we need to actually now make sure that the communities who are mainly from the black community who need representing and who need these therapies get what they need. They're taxpayers, they're British people. And this is what we've been fighting for, fighting our own people to come forward and get them on board, but fighting those outside our community to understand that we, take it seriously. Health matters for all.
As much as obviously the message is all of us can be donors, and we should all prioritize that. How can we all support the ACLT beyond donations, beyond blood donations?
Yeah.
Donation first. Thing. Honestly, I'm very proud of our people, but sometimes the conversations that we have, it's mind blowing what comes out of people's mouths. People say, "Oh, I'll pray." Well, yes, we need you to pray, but actually, we need the prayer and technology to work alongside. Because when you pray, God is giving us the technology, but for the technology to work, we need us all to be involved. But secondly, supporting us financially, as lovely lady has said she's done with us before. £3 a month donations. If more people did it, it would help us to sustain the work and keep everything going. Because
what could be achieved? Blood donation and organ donation is UK wide. It's internalized. It doesn't go beyond the shores of the UK. But the bone marrow stem cell wide is international. There aren't registries in the Caribbean or in Africa to speak of.
Yeah.
If more support came through to organizations like the ACLT, we could go and really help create and support registries in the Caribbean, in some sub-Saharan African countries, so that they can do it for themselves. Because we are the majority in those countries. We're not the minority, we're the majority. So finding donors would be much easier if there was support, if there was infrastructures in place, but you got to start somewhere. And so we, if we get the support from the public, it gives us the opportunity to get more resources to go and educate and reinforce the message in these other places where we are the majority, and many more lives will be saved. It is really, really down to us.
Is it important for us, like people in the community, to donate, I guess, via the ACLT as opposed to another organization? Because do you guys, or can you guys guarantee it goes to where it needs to go to?
So we are not the actual registrars. We are the we are
the gatekeepers. We're the route that a lot of people take to get on board, because before we came along, there was nothing. So it's like I always use music as an example. I say to people come through the ACLT frequency, the channel, the bandwidth. That's where they want to listen to the message. They could have gone elsewhere to listen to the same message, but it didn't resonate. They're coming through us, and we put people onto the blood registry.
Okay.
So we metaphorically speaking, arm in arm with them, take them right up to the front line and say, there you go. We brought you up to the front line, brought you to Brixton or wherever. Now you go and do your thing, and stay in touch with us. Because if they don't give you the service that you like, you come to us. We've got them.
Yeah.
They speak. They speak to us direct.
Good.
So we'll always represent you. We do the same thing on the bone marrow stem cell side. We do the same thing on the organ side. So, and people are coming through to us thinking, well, we can trust you, ACLT. We've seen your story. You've been transparent. We had to be transparent.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference. So people can go direct if they feel comfortable. It's fine. But we just say to people, either go direct or come through us. Help us to support ourselves and our community on a wider scale, so that more lives can be saved. So we can be more self-sustained, because we're not black people are not begging bowl. We're the most culturally rich set of people.
That's right.
We are the originators.
That's right.
We always have been. But people, what we do, we give, and others take, and then shine it back on us and try to sell it back to us with interest.
Yep.
And try to make it sound as if they did it. And it's like, no, we did it. It was us. On this, we can do the same thing.
Is there, obviously I'm showing my ignorance here, but if, for example, I come, do a blood donation.
Yeah.
Can I do the stem cell test in the same go? How does it work?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can actually do two at the same time if you go and donate blood. We always say
on the 31st
on the
May.
31st of May.
right.
Yeah. You
Brixton,
go there,
guys.
you sit there in reception, and you say to the receptionist, not only do I want to donate blood today, but I also want to join a stem cell or bone marrow register, whatever terminology you want to use.
Okay.
And they will say, you want to do that as well?
Okay.
Kill two birds with one stone. Right. Okay. Sign up for both. And when you're sitting back there donating that blood, you won't even realize it. They will take a little extra vial and put that onto the tray for the bone marrow stem cell side.
Okay.
And weeks later, when you get that message that says, you get a text message that tells you where your blood donation actually goes to, which hospital.
Oh, nice.
You'll also get your donor card for blood donation, and it will tell you your blood group. And you will also get a bone marrow stem cell card. Different color. They usually, I think they're blue colored cards. And you have two cards. The blood one, get into the regular habit of donating blood men 4 times a year.
Okay.
Every 16 weeks, ladies 3 times a year.
12 weeks.
Yep, every 12 weeks. Use that blood donation card to build up your credits of blood donation. The bone marrow stem cell one, as Beverly highlighted earlier, the chances of you actually ever using that are astronomical. Because you're joining 45 million people around the world who are on standby to be a potential donor for someone who's similar to them. But the chance of you matching, astronomical. You got to be very, very lucky. Like Daniel and Doreen was. Doreen joined, and then she was found. She, as I say with the lottery, you got to be in it to win it. And that's, unless you've got some major ill health problems, there's nothing to stop someone joining the bone marrow stem cell register or becoming a blood donor.
Okay.
It's just a matter of stepping up, representing, and saying to the blood donation people, see you in 16 weeks or see you in 12 weeks. And the bone marrow side, I'm here. If you need me, just call me.
Okay. So in terms of, so let's just say, like Brent was saying, you go there, you do your test, and you're one of the ROs, right?
Yeah.
Do you basically just get a text message, and do we come back to you guys? Do they tell you as well? Like
No, it's
No.
personal to you and the blood service.
Okay.
Okay. So you will get your...
You might come and tell us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might say, Bev Oren, I'm the RO subtype.
Okay.
Great.
That's
yeah.
good.
They will literally put you in virtual so they're like, you're RO, right? We're gonna stay in touch with you even more so than a regular blood donor, because every time that sickle cell patient, sickle cell warrior needs that blood transfusion, they're probably going to come back to you and others like you on a regular basis to say, please don't forget your next appointment. It's important because the difference it's going to make to those sickle cell individuals, it's incredible. It really is. We saw firsthand the difference with Daniel.
Yeah.
When he had those 3 to 5 units of blood transfusions, the physical difference in him was incredible. It's, he was like, here I am, ready to go.
Run a marathon.
Wow. He was buzzing. But when he was low, it was weak. And it's the same with the sickle cell individuals who are waiting for that good match.
Are there, because I noticed on your website, aclt.org, right?
Yes.
Please check that out, people. Everything you need to know is on that website. And just a reminder as well, 31st of May, Brixton Blood Donor Centre. There's 20 exclusive blood donation slots. But please, just register. You know what I'm saying? Like, register your interest and come down.
Can I just say, when they follow the link, which you said you're going to put up,
yes,
they submit their application, and then someone from our office will call them, have a conversation,
beautiful, and
agree the time that they come down and donate. And we will stay in touch with every person right up until the day when they walk into that blood centre.
Okay, thank you for that. So yeah, on your website, I've seen obviously certain people, the pictures of them, and basically speaking about their need for like donations and stem cells and stuff like that. When, God willing, they do get their matches and stuff, like what's the process with you guys, like, and how you assist them, that sort of thing?
We stay in touch with them.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
If they want to, some people say, you know what, finally I've got what I need. I need to get on with my life. And this cancer journey, this whatever the journey was, organ related journey, I'll get on with my life.
Yeah.
But many say to us, they become campaigners in their own right with us. They
ambassadors.
Or ambassadors. They come to the sessions, so they can say to people, well, actually, I've had a kidney transplant, or I found my donor, or I needed blood, or I had a bone marrow stem cell donation. And then people are like, really? Yeah. Tell me about it. And so they become very much ambassadors and spokespeople, coming out to sessions with us and being a keynote speaker. It's doing videos on all sorts of things, going on TV shows and talking about their journey. And we're there to support with them. We blend into the background and say, if you need us, we're gonna be there. And the same with the families. We're gonna be there to support you and making sure that they get the post-transplant support that's needed to make sure everything goes as smooth as possible.
And sadly, it doesn't always work out. And we lose patients, but we stay with the families for as long as they need us. Just to kind of get them through that very tricky time.
You mentioned you've been putting in this work for 30 years. Next year, right?
Yeah.
Have you got any plans for the 30th anniversary?
We've been talking about it. We're not sure. We're not sure exactly what we're going to do. It's going to be, I think, a combination of various things throughout the year. I mean, the official date is 2nd of June.
Okay.
When we started. I'm not sure exactly what. But when we started back in 2nd of June 1996, we did it. We did a sort of real big bang start. We did a whole heap of bungee jumps over the River Thames to kickstart the charity.
I'll do it for the 30th for special.
Run it back. Maybe we'll get you to do it.
I might do that.
No, we haven't got anything planned as such. But we're open for ideas.
Okay. And I was going to ask you, looking back over the nearly 30 years, what are you most proud of your achievements? That's a tough question.
Most proud of.
And what do you hope the legacy of ACLT will be?
That is a hard one. There's been...
I think one of the main things, is that we're still in existence, because I don't think a lot of people thought we would go the distance.
Wow.
Although myself and Oren made a personal pact between ourselves that whatever happened to Daniel, we would keep the work going. And just before Dan passed, he did ask us to keep the work going. So That was really important for us. I think he'd be proud. So I think the fact that we're hitting our 30th anniversary is a huge milestone for us. And to see we've had a few, I reckon I'd say since COVID, it's been a bit of a slog. It's been hard. It's been harder actually. Because of what COVID did and the vaccines and everything, people became less trusting. I feel like we've kind of hit that bottom point and are now rising again. And as I said a couple of times today, because of opportunities like today, we're hitting new audiences. And it's, a lot of people say, oh, I've not heard of ACLT. Have you heard of Daniel DeGale? No, not heard of Daniel DeGale. Now it feels like it's starting to turn the other way again, because definitely the generations that we hit were our generations and a couple of generations below us. But these new generations that are coming through, it's really important that they hear and understand, and that actually blood donation and joining a stem cell register become the norm in our community. And it's not the taboo subject that it has been previously.
Yeah, I think there's been many major milestones along the way, but I think I sort of echo what Beverly's saying. I think generation after generation, what I'm most proud of is the reaction from our community when they get it is literally brings tears to your eyes.
What kind of numbers do you get, like blood drives or like?
It can vary. I mean, at a blood drive, I mean, the last one we did recently, we had.
Which one was that?
The one at Brixton.
Oh, Brixton, yeah.
Yeah, we had
50 slots.
50 slots.
And all 50 slots were filled. In fact, we had 62 people.
We had a reserve list.
We had a reserve list. And, of course, on the day, we're going to lose a few because of small veins. And
They've travelled.
And it's not been picked up. And actually, 42 donated on that day.
Yeah. So is it harder to what's the kind of infrastructure needed to do like more? Like, could you do something where you got like, I don't know, just say 200 slots on the day or something?
We have previously done bigger events.
Yeah, because blood donation, you can't just walk in anymore. You used to be able to walk in.
Yeah.
You have to make an appointment.
Okay.
So we, like on the 31st, we've locked down 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, it's every month.
Yeah, every month.
Every last Saturday in every month, ACLT will have 20 slots at Brixton.
You hear that, people? Please.
Yeah. In the symbolism of Brixton and our people, and to have this location and to be able to lock it down is so uplifting. And it goes back to what I was saying, seeing our people come through in this generation and previous generations when we've called and they've responded. Oh man, it brings literally brings tears to your eyes, because there's an expectation. Black people ain't gonna step forward. They're not gonna step forward on a health crisis like this. And we watch and see, and you see droves and droves of people. Back in the day, at the height of Daniel's campaign, we're talking now 98. Okay, we did a drive again in Brixton, in the car park of Tesco's. And we were registering for the bone marrow stem cell side of things. I think we finished that day on close to about 800 people.
Wow.
Step forward. They were watching it on TV. They were going home, coming back. People were the local radio station was pumping it out. Tesco's came out with big crates of
hot chocolate,
chicken and biscuits to feed the queues. And we finished at midnight under the lights, still signing people up, still taking blood to join the register, because it was this community feeling. Like I say, when we move, we move mountains.
That's right.
People think all we do is sing and dance and run and kick ball. And we're like, yeah, we do that better than anyone else.
Yeah.
But you know
also
what?
Do this exactly
on a health matter. We do it better than anyone else, and we do it in a style that no one else does, and it's incredible to watch.
The 20 blood donations. It sounds like small numbers. It's not huge, but actually, it's the start of something that we're trying to develop. But alongside that, there are other registration drives that are taking place in schools, colleges, black churches, universities, corporates we go into.
Nice.
And we're going to be at City Splash, the Lambeth Country Show, Four Corners, festivals that are happening throughout the summer as well. So, and we're quite a small team. So we're trying to manage as much as we can with the resources that we have.
And the other thing that we want to go into even more so in another way is in the church. We have in the black community, we have such a big network there, and people wear two hats. They wear their secular hat in terms of going to work and other things, community, but many go to church. And we want those individuals to speak to their pastors and say, look, I've seen and heard this thing about blood donation and bone marrow stem cell organ donation, the ACLT. They represent us. Let's hear them. Let's invite them in to speak to us and to merge the religious sector with the practical side and make it happen. And we know it does. A young man came to our office last week who had registered with us at a church in North London many, many years ago. And he listened and he ended up being a donor, a bone marrow stem cell donor.
This is it.
Because he listened, he merged the two and said, yes, I can do this. And so he came to our office to celebrate with us because alongside yourselves, the church is the other biggest influences out there.
100%.
You know, and if we can get them on board in a big way, it will. Others will be watching and going, okay, we need to get people coming to our mosque or our temples.
That's right.
Because if the Christians are doing it that way, we need to be doing it as well.
Yep.
It's all good.
I love that. We do have to wrap up soon, yeah. But I know that there's an event that you teamed up with Limitless Live, right? Yes.
yes. The gets.
On the 4th.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
On the 4th of May.
Yes.
Just want to let the people know. Limitless Live is taking over the Roundhouse 4th of May. Gets.
Come on.
Young T and Bugsy. Nate Smalls.
That's one of my favorites. That's one.
You know what I'm saying? It's just testament to what you guys were saying about.
Amazing.
You know what I'm saying? That those collaborations there, man. So again, Limitless Live teamed up with ACLT, and yeah, man, they got an amazing show there. But also, again, the most important thing is on the 31st of May, 20 exclusive blood donation slots, Brixton Blood Donor Center. There's a link, but you've already put the link in it. You said, Brent's already.
First come, first serve.
Yeah,
there you go.
First come, first serve.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Brent's already put the link in there. Please.
Your mic
Brent's
isn't working.
already registered his interest as well. So yeah, man, please, guys, come down, man, and let's make this like a real lifestyle where we can actually save people's lives.
Yeah, I like that, a lifestyle. Yeah.
Have you all heard of Pen Game? It's a massive movement. Have you heard of Pen Game?
What are you shouting?
No.
I think you should. I could hook you up with one of the main guys at Pen Game.
Okay.
Thank you.
Massive movement.
Thank you.
You'll be down for it.
Yeah, all those links, please. We want them. Thank you.
You guys are game changers. Seriously, you're game changers. You're making such a difference. Sitting here listening to you guys at the beginning, talking about music and sport and culture, Farrakhan and all these sort of things.
All right.
Which,
it's
You get it all on this show, boy.
it's stuff that needs to be, it's stuff that you're not seeing mainstream.
Yeah, this is it.
And you guys are talking about this in a big way, and you're interacting with an audience that really is tuned to the reality of what's happening out in the real world.
Yes, sir.
So we take our hats off to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. We ask all our guests 3 questions before they go. The first question is, tell us something people are usually surprised to learn about you. It literally could be anything.
We've been on the Snarky Puppy, what was it?
A jazz fusion
I
group.
like Snarky Puppy. They're sick. I really, really like the music.
Oh, you know what that is?
Puppy.
Yeah.
Oh God, put your hand
Thank
right
God for
there.
that.
Well, if you ever look at the
why we got you here,
videos, because
man.
they make the albums, they do it in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
You go on YouTube
We're in
and
the
you
live
and you see,
Oh, nice.
you see We Like Us, the album We Like Us.
Okay.
You'll see us on two of their tracks
Oh, I see.
serious?
Sick.
in the front row,
Nice.
next to
Snarky
Corey
Puppy.
Henry and others, Sean Martin.
Rest in peace.
Yeah,
Snarky Puppy's proper.
yeah, you'll see us.
All right. Second question. What is your biggest life lesson?
Biggest life lesson. Ooh. Anything is possible.
I once said, I'm so lucky. I'll never say that again.
It's powerful, man. And our last question is a question that's left by the previous guest. And so we're going to get you to leave a question
Oh,
for
where have I seen that? Where have I seen that done before?
TDA.
Steve Bartlett
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
people to do it. Yes, I was
He
listening.
needs to.
He got it from
he
you. I
needs to
know
run
he
some
did.
money to us.
Yeah, seriously.
But the question from the last guest was, if you were watching your life as a movie, what is something that would surprise you that's impacted your mental health?
If I was watching
Your life.
my life as a movie,
What thing, looking back at your life,
Yeah.
has surprised you, that's impacted your mental health?
my son's passing, without a doubt, to this day. And I don't think that will ever change.
Oh.
My resilience and patience has probably surprised me with this journey. I would not have thought I would have been so patient with how things have happened and the pace. Because I think I would have, my natural reaction is no, I need it done now. And actually, I'm amazed that 29, 30 years later, my patience with those in authority
And the community.
trying to bring the two together.
All right. And what question would you like to leave for the next guest?
Ooh. I think for the next guest, what has inspired you the most?
Okay. What has inspired you the most? Thank you very much, guys, for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you
Ditto.
for having us.
Thank you.
And yes, people, just a reminder, you can sign up to register your interest in donating blood at the Brixton Blood Donor Centre on the 31st of May.
Yep.
Saturday, the 31st of May. Brent's put the link in the description already. He's already signed up. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do the same. Please, guys, this is something that really saves people's lives. It's not one of those just talking situations. You hope it does. No, it does save people's lives. You know what I'm saying? So, and we're the only ones that can do it for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, as you guys heard, it's ethnic and race specific. We can't keep asking people to help us. We got to do for self. And this is a perfect example of that. So please, 31st of May, Saturday, register your interest. And yeah, once again, people, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right, Brent, let's get into our wrap up.
Learn something new every day.
This is it, man. This
Because
is
even
it.
so, I would have assumed that it was like you go and give them the blood and they make sure it's distributed so the black people got it. Because you know, like people like you don't trust. How do I know where my blood's going and people like that. But obviously now understanding that it's all coming from the same donor pool and there's not enough of us there. So what we're doing is making you donate to the same thing because obviously it don't cross racial lines anyway. So we need more black people in there. So if you go, if you donate, you're doing what you think you're doing. They can't take it and give it to nobody else. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I understand now. I still can't do it because I won't gamble.
It's not that you will necessarily donate to a black person,
But
but the
chances are higher.
Yeah,
Exactly.
chances are higher, yeah.
And we're the only ones that pretty much can do it for ourselves, for our own community. So yeah, people, today's been a good show. We spoke about Pope Francis passing away. We spoke about Trump backing his defense secretary after reports of a second signal chat leak. We spoke about this new Israel-Gaza ceasefire plan that's proposed. These are some inner sources, basically, who have revealed this information. Hopefully it's true. We also spoke about Ukraine reports that many Russian drone attacks attacked them, basically, even though there was meant to be a truce in place. And we spoke about Rachel Reeves heading to Washington amid hopes of a US trade deal. We also spoke about trigger warning on this one. Manslaughter charges after a fatal crash on a golf course. 3 men who were basically trying to escape being pursued by the police crashed into somebody who was minding their business on a golf course, and she sadly passed away. And we spoke about the US stock markets falling again because Trump is being Trump. And he's trying to put pressure on Jerome Powell, who's the chair of the Fed.
Don't like you don't like Trump now. In front of our guests.
Can you not interrupt my wrap up?
My apologies.
And the topic of the day, we spoke about Kanye West, his confession is to cry for help. We spoke about, again, Pope Francis passing away. And we spoke about DJ Vlad finally apologizing to the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And again, I'll keep you guys updated on if the minister chooses to accept his apology and what he says, because we know that Vlad is Vlad. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to say too much.
It's culture vulture.
There you go. There you go. And of course, the most important part of the show has definitely been having Mr. Orin, the girl here, and Mrs. Beverly, the girl here as well. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. Once again, ACLT.org. Please, please, please. If there's only one thing you listen to me today about, go to that website. Donate. You can also give money as well. £3 a month. At minimum, guys. Nothing. We can always do more. That's what? That's half a Starbucks.
Brother.
Half.
We don't shop at Starbucks anyway because of Palestine.
100%.
But yeah, you're right.
100%.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So please, guys, let's be committed to saving ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Let's make this a lifestyle, honestly.
100%.
And yeah, man. We'll be back here again tomorrow, man.
Did you mention the rotation?
Do what? Oh, sorry, guys.
Great. So we also had the rotation. We spoke about where's the camera? What camera looking at that one? Where we spoke about Alex Isley's new EP. We spoke about Davido's new project and the 3 Put You Ones, which was songs from albums that have been released this year. Duran Bernard, Duckworth, and Playboy Carti, Marg's favorite.
There you go. Yes, and we'll be back here once again 8 o'clock tomorrow. And yeah, like the video. Share the video, subscribe to the channel, register your interest. Brixton Blood Donor Center, 31st of May, Saturday. I know you're free, people. I know you're free. Just register and come down. And yeah, see you tomorrow.
Peace.